And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, the Ben Shapiro versus Candace Owens drama is still ongoing. There's a few more things that have been revealed. We're going to get into that a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, the president of Guyana laying truth bombs on the BBC reporter as it relates to climate change. Very, very good interview. Shout out to Dr. Irfan Ali from Guyana, the president. We'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, the mayor of Baltimore, very controversial, talking about DEI, all this kind of stuff. Some trolls on Twitter talking crazy, and then of course that leaks to the mainstream media, which is what you don't need as a conservative movement to say, hey, look at these guys getting 25 million views talking about the mayor as a DEI hire when he was elected at a 70% percentage point victory in his city. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Kathy Griffin says that her life was pretty much ruined after the whole Donald Trump bloody head effigy kerfuffle. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I can't really say that I'm too sympathetic over that. I mean, at a certain point, you get what you give. That's called karma. You did it to yourself. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Sam Bankman-Fried sentenced to 25 years in the penitentiary. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Let me fix my chat on the screen before everybody starts to freak out. That's a quick fix. Let's go ahead and 1, 2, 3, and then let it pop. Whenever it's ready, it'll pop. Hold on. Let's try this right quick. Let's try to do that and then that. Wow, that's crazy. My screen don't want to pop. It'll fix itself. But shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, we got a whole lot going on. Hopefully my chat box gets together whenever it's ready. That'd be fantastic. Matter of fact, let's try this. Let's see if that's going to do it. A little bit different, but that's going to work for now. Matter of fact, let's do this. See, look. Shout out to lead attorney, struggle streaming. Ain't that what he say? Struggle streaming already. There we go. We got it fixed. All right. That is IT ABL coming right back for 2024. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Also, you're also listening to an audio streaming podcast, and you can hear it wherever you listen to podcasts the most, whether that be Google Play, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. All right, we got a whole lot going on. There's a whole lot to get through. Happy early Easter. We'll get to Easter and what Joe Biden says tomorrow is a little bit more a little bit later, but first things first, y'all know how I do. Shout out to all the sponsors, patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Their link will be in the description, or just go to the website through your browser of choice, patriotpost.us. Tell them that ABL sent you. Go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. And we got more sponsors coming soon. I got some pretty good ones that I really appreciate that make sense for me. So I'm going to do some live ad reads during some videos, but it won't be too much. I promise. It won't be overwhelming, but I do have some more sponsors coming up. We're getting ready for the 2024 season. It's going to be crazy. So y'all hang tight. 2024, the presidential cycle this year is going to be off the chain, as the cool kids say, or as I said back 20 years ago. But anyway, it's going to be nuts. Summertime this year, be ready. Y'all know how it is every election year, but I got a few more sponsors coming up, but that's who I have sponsoring the show right now. And of course, my regular website, is anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I write an article for each video that I produce. And in each article, I have sources from the left, from the right, from national, international, political, non-political, whatever you want. I got it right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact, to find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X. All those links are right there on the contact page. And if you're ever wondering if you are speaking to me or not, going to the contact page is a great way to cross-reference. My email address is contact@anthonyblogan.com. If you are conversing with someone who says they're ABL, who has ABL's picture, but it's not that email, then it's not me. So don't get scammed. It's 2024. Don't nobody got no time for that. If you are in the comment section speaking to someone and they say they're me and they say to contact them on some random 895-digit WhatsApp number talking about you send me $45, I'll send you $10 million. Look, don't get scammed, okay? I'm not trying to have one of you guys go to Target with a fistful of gift cards talking about, oh, they said I got to send it to them this way, or they're going to take my phone offline. We don't do that anymore. We are above that. You are a very, very smart audience, so I know you guys won't do it. But occasionally I might get a straight email from a newcomer that says, hey, is this ABL? You said I could contact you about some Lakers tickets. It's like, what? Listen, it's not me. The best way to contact me is on my website, anthonyblogan.com. All right. We don't have time for the bald head Nigerian dude in the hovel with 85 other guys talking about, oh, my friends, I can take your car today. I don't have time for that. And I don't have time for the 995,872 pound Lithuanian laying on the ground in his Eastern Bloc village basement, covered in borched all over the place, talking about I get the router, I get your phone number, get to the email. I do that for you today, huh? We don't have time for it, okay? This is America. We don't do that over here, at least not too much. Well, maybe if your name is Sam Bankman-Fried, we'll get to him a little bit later. But anyway, let's get to a few things. There's so much going on, I don't even know where to start. You know where I kind of want to start? I kind of want to start with Easter, because Easter is tomorrow. Normally, Easter does not fall on a March. It's usually, what they say, the first Sunday in April. Isn't that how that goes? Or pardon me, how does Easter really work? It's not the first Sunday in April. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know it's not the same day all the time. But I know it's a Sunday. You guys let me know how that whole thing goes. Okay. But there's also another day that falls on March 31st alongside Easter for some reason. It's the transgender day of something. There's like 100 LGBT holidays or days or events, commemorations on the calendar in the USA. Okay. Transgender Day of Visibility. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah. And then April Fool's is the 1st. So that'd be Monday. All right. So tomorrow is Easter Sunday and also the Trans Day of Visibility. I think that's what that was. I think there was just a Trans Day of Remembrance. Then, okay, you got Pride Month, Trans Day of Remembrance, Trans Day of Visibility. I mean, how many more days do we need to, like, at a certain point, we're kind of being redundant. It's kind of redundant. It's like, all right, you got Pride Month. Isn't that enough? I guess not. But anyway, so let's check this out. This is a declaration from the White House. Now, to be clear, this Trans Day is always March 31st. It's not ever a different day. And it's been that same day since 2009. But in my humble opinion, they did that because they knew that it might fall on an Easter Sunday. And then it'd be up to the powers that be to recognize them or recognize Easter. Because how do you recognize both? I don't really know. But let's watch this. This is not watch it. We're going to just read this right quick. Wall Street Silver says, when they were discussing this among the staff at the White House this week, how did that conversation go? They had to know this would result in a huge backlash from Christians. With Biden down in the polls, what is the benefit of doing something like this in an election year? Did they think this would help his polling numbers? Or they just didn't care and decided, well, forget it. Let's tick off some people with this week. There's got to be a strategy here. I'm not just understanding what this is. Is this meant to be a distraction from some other news? Here's a declaration. Now, therefore, Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the U.S. of A., by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, I do hereby proclaim March 31st, 2024 as Transgender Day of Visibility. I call upon all Americans to join us, listen up the lives and voices of transgender people throughout our nation and to work toward eliminating violence and discrimination based on gender identity. All right. So again, that's tomorrow, which is also Easter Sunday. And I think that there was the Easter egg hunt they had might have been banned. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. Okay. And if you like what you're hearing so far, I know what to do. Let me just make sure I'm saying it. Okay, yeah. So here we go. This is New York Post. Let me pull it up on the screen. And shout out to New York Post and these ads. My ads won't be this invasive, I promise. So here we go. Religious themed designs banned from White House Easter egg art contest. So although this is about, Jesus, he is risen. Nah, we're not going to have religious designs at the White House. Okay, that's not really what we're going to do. All we're going to do is focus on the Easter bunny and the eggs and all that good stuff. But the actual holiday's purpose, we're not really going to acknowledge that. But what we are going to do is acknowledge the Trans Day of Visibility. Do you guys see what's happening? Now, again, the Trans Day has been March 31st for quite a while, 2009. But for them to go out and recognize it formally with a declaration from Joe Biden and then to ban religious themes from the White House Easter egg art contest, I mean, what's going on with that? So check it out. Let me just see this here. So, okay, ad, get out the way, please. All right, there we go. It's not going nowhere. Let me just zoom out. Okay. Children of the National Guard are prohibited from submitting religious Easter egg designs for a 2024 Celebrating National Guard Families art event at the White House. The art contest is part of the White House's Easter egg traditions, which includes the Easter egg roll. Okay, so yeah, no more religious stuff at the Easter egg contest at the White House. All right, so how about that? But yeah, that's what's happening right now, 2024. Okay, now this might be a little bit of time for Yuri Bezmenov. Somebody posted Yuri Bezmenov in response to what's happening right now. Now, you guys may or may not know, I cite Yuri Bezmenov quite a bit. He was a former KGB agent, and he did interviews in the 1980s about the subversion of America, how to topple the United States without firing a shot. Okay, the psychological subversion that happened to us. And he was saying even back in the 80s that it's pretty much already complete. And I think that what he said is proven correct because we see it all around us. We see examples of what he was talking about all around us. All right, so let's check this out right here. All right, let's get a little bit of sound and let's get some visuals. Again, this is former KGB agent Yuri Bezmenov, who I always refer to.
Art of warfare is not to fight at all.
Hold on, we'll start from the top.
The highest art of warfare is not to fight at all, but to subvert anything of value in your enemy's country, be it moral traditions, religion, respect to your authority and leaders, cultural traditions, anything. Put white against black, old against young, I don't know, wealthy against poor, and so on. Doesn't matter. As long as it disturbs society, as long as it cuts the moral fiber of a nation, it's good. And then you just take this country, when everything is subverted, when the country is disoriented and confused, when it is demoralized and then destabilized, then the crisis will the highest.
So there you have it. That's how you do. You know, you subvert them through psychological means. That's why, you know, things like social media are very, very important. TikTok, you know, the whole thing with TikTok is not even about it's not necessarily about China putting in poisonous content. I mean, that's part of it. But the bigger issue is that TikTok can be used instantly to radicalize, or it can be used as a call to action. Just like when TikTok, the TikTok vote happened, right? And they voted in the House, I think, to ban it or to force a sale. When that happened, if you logged on into your TikTok, there was an ad, a pop-up ad that came up like Wikipedia. Wikipedia, if you go to it sometimes, there's a pop-up ad. Please help us. We need X amount of money, blah, blah, blah. TikTok had that same thing, but this time it was, hey, call your local representatives, call your congressman, call your mayor, your senator, your governor, call them and tell them to stop the kill TikTok bill. Tell them to stop the TikTok ban. They don't want that kind of power in the hands of a foreign government to call millions of Americans to action. They don't want it. That's part of the reason why they want to get TikTok out the way. The poisonous content, I mean, that's part of it, but not really, because there's plenty of poisonous content out there, especially when you're talking about LGBT, X, Y, and Z. And a lot of the poisonous content that the government allows is right in your school, not even on your phone, but right in your K through 12 school. You got books in the library that are straight up, you know what, to the point where you have John Amanchukwu, the pastor, shout out to him, good guy. The books are so bad in the library that when he goes to school board meetings to read these books that are available for children, we're talking about K through 12, not undergrad, postgrad. We're talking about kids in the 3rd and 4th and 5th grade have access to these books. The books are so bad that when he reads the books, he gets removed. He gets kicked out of the venue. Why would you get kicked out of a venue for reading the children's book? Why would you get kicked out of the school board meeting for reading a book that's available to kids in school? It doesn't make any sense, but it does make sense. Anyway, I digress. So speaking about the LGBTs and whatnot, we're going to Auckland, New Zealand. So some guys painted over a rainbow crossing, and now the authorities are trying to find them, and they're saying this could be a hate crime. So imagine painting on the ground is a hate crime. Back in my day, here's another old man shakes fist at cloud. Back in my day, painting on the ground was called vandalism, like graffiti, things of this nature. It wouldn't be a hate crime, but now I guess it is. So imagine back in the day, 80s, 90s, you cross out the other gang. Does that still happen? Okay, you got a gang with graffiti on the wall, and then another gang comes by and crosses it out. That kind of thing is happening right now with the LGBT. You see, the LGBT put their gang colors on the ground or the wall, and then others come by and cross it out. But rather than that just being some gang beef and it's nothing really other than vandalism, now it's considered a hate crime. Okay, turn the music down. We don't need that. It says vandals paint over rainbow crossing in Auckland, New Zealand. All right. So shout out to them. I think they're doing a public service. Okay. I think they're doing a great service. They're painting it white for you guys who can't see the screen. And it's just on the ground, like a kind of a crosswalk type situation. And it looks fun. They got, looks like they have brushes. Not paint rollers, but just like what you would use to brush to sweep up a floor. And they're doing a pretty good job. I'm seeing nice and straight lines. It doesn't look to be too messy. It's a little bit messy on the ends. My man right here is going to drive through it, so he's going to have white tires, and that's fine. Okay, it is what it is. I might would have blocked that intersection off because you're gonna just kind of traipse that paint all over the place. But it's all good. You know, it's all good. I have no issue with what's going on. But now that's considered to be a hate crime. But yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to them. Yeah, it's gang colors. The LGBT is nothing but a gang. The LGBT is a gang and they have gang colors. That's what's going on. And if you cross out their gang colors, then you might get charged with a hate crime. You might go to the penitentiary, make big rocks, little rocks. All right. Hold on. Can I add a stomped into wine emoji? We might need to do that. Shout out to Monique Price. Monique Price made the emojis that we have here. That might need to be another one. So I might have to give her an email and request that one. Shout out to Monique Price. And shout out to you guys for watching. Shout out to South Park. This says from Clown World. Shout out to Clown World again, one of my favorite Twitter pages. Here is your average talk with a leftist. All right, let's get some sound that might work, and here we go. Check it out.
Right now, we're proving we don't need corporations. We don't need money. This can become a commune where everyone just helps each other. Yeah, we'll have one guy who makes bread, and one guy who he looks out for other people's safety.
You mean like a baker and a cop?
No, can't you imagine a place where people live together and provide services for each other in exchange for their services?
Yeah, it's called a town.
Kids just haven't been to college yet.
Exactly. It's called a town. You know, a village, a town, a city. That's kind of what it is. All right. They're trying to go reinvent the wheel. It's like you want to squat in the middle of a city and start a new town in the city. That kind of reminds me of the whole Chaz Chop thing, which was nothing but just a bunch of dope fiends who got violent toward the end and wound up taking some kids' lives. That's a different story. But yeah, at a certain point, it's called a town. All right, it's not really, you're not really reinventing the wheel. You think you are. The drugs, whatever kind of drugs they may be on, makes them think they're thinking about something that's totally brand new, but it's not at all. Now, shout out to all the Muslims, you know, Eid Mubarak, all that. Assalamu alaikum. Shout out to all the Muslims. Nothing against the Muslims or whatever. I know that you guys, I'm not sure if it's over, if you already hit Eid or whatever, but during Ramadan, you guys fast from sun up to sundown. So during the day, you might be pretty hungry. Okay. If you've not eaten, check it out. If it's almost sunset, but not quite at sunset, you got about 45 minutes until sunset. Okay. Let's say sunset is at 7:03. It's 6:50. You starving to death. You ready to break your fast immediately. You've not eaten since 8 a.m., 7 a.m. or whatever sunrise was. Now, if you smell food on a bus, hey, it is what it is, man. You got to stay strong, stay in there, hang in there. Don't break your fast until sunset, all right? And don't harass someone because they're eating and you can't eat yet, all right? Check this out.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Sorry? Yeah, I can smell that. Do you mind eating that somewhere else? I'm fasting.
That's not my concern.
Yeah, but I'm fasting though.
So why are you out?
What do you mean why am I out?
If you're fasting, you should be indoors.
Yeah, but
I'm eating my lunch and you come and disturb me.
Yeah,
what for?
Yeah, but I can smell it.
So what? It's food. Of course you're going to smell it.
Yeah, but can you not just wait until you get off the bus?
Don't tell me what to do. You're fasting, stay indoors and don't come and bother nobody on the bus.
No, but I'm just saying.
I'm eating my lunch.
Yeah, but
what's your problem?
Because you're right next to me and I can smell.
But go downstairs.
Yeah, do you think you should have manners and not eat inside the bus?
Go downstairs and leave me alone. It's my lunch.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm fasting and I can smell it.
That's your business. Stay indoors.
What do you mean stay indoors? I need to go out and see
When I fast, I don't go out. Stay indoors, read your Bible, and keep quiet.
Well, first of all, I don't read the Bible. Second, do you know how I feel? You know I haven't eaten since 5 a.m.
Go home, break your fast early.
No, don't you dare say something like that.
Break your fast early.
What do you mean break my fast early? You're still eating. The thing is, it smells.
It's lovely.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but it's...
You want some? You want some?
Are you being serious?
Yes, I'm happy to share.
After what I've just told you.
I'm happy to share somebody because you're clearly hungry.
Hey, you know what? You want some? Why not? You hungry, you starving. Look, you want some of this Some of this jerk chicken, curry, all that, some oxtails. You want that? Yo, I'll give you some. I'll give you a piece of my food. It's no problem. Because obviously you're pretty hungry. You're at the end of the day. The sun about to set, but it's not quite sunset yet. You're hungry. Go ahead, take that. Don't badger me about what's going on. Now, some say it's fake. Is it fake? I mean, some guys know how to ruin a good time. But look, check it out. If you're fasting, hang in there. It's gonna be okay. Don't break it too early. Eid is not until April 8th. Yeah, you still got quite a while until Eid. So yeah, it's gonna be rough, but hang in there. I've done this fast. I do the fast all the time. I do 24-hour fast every day. I eat 1 meal a day. But once you get used to it, you'll be all right. Don't get tempted by these smells and all that kind of stuff. You'll be all right. Hang in there. Be disciplined. Okay. Now, I'm not a Muslim. I'm not religious. So I just fast because of different reasons. But that's what that is. Now, speaking about religion, let's go to a leftist talking about Beyonce. Now, we have Beyonce doing country music. It's kind of controversial for some reason. I mean, me personally, I don't really care about what people do with music. If it's good, it's good. I don't care your skin color, nothing like that. If you're good at music, then you're good at it. You could be a white rapper, a black country singer, whatever it is. If you're good, you're good. I heard some of Beyonce's Jolene cover. I wasn't impressed. I was not impressed. Miley Cyrus would never. Dolly Parton would never. I was not impressed by her cover of Jolene. And not because she's black, because I like Whitney Houston's version of I Will Always Love You versus Dolly Parton's version, because that was a cover of Dolly Parton. Anyway, so I'm not really a fan of the music, but this person right here is having a really strange take on it. I want to show you guys this.
Buddy.
Actually, do I want to show this? This might be fake too. Hold on.
Buddy. White as F woman here. Just want to say as a
nope, I know this is actually fake. This is Jebra. Yeah. This ain't real. She was gonna go into this whole thing about you can't be a white person and witness Beyonce's music. That's not real. So you guys already know. Oh, that's fake. ABL, don't play. I'm not gonna play that. I'm gonna move right along. I'm gonna move along to a more serious issue. I ain't gonna talk about Beyonce and country music. Let's talk about what's happening with white males between the ages of 18 and 25. Okay, let's not have fun tonight, and let's get really dark and deep and serious. All right, let's get dark, deep, serious. Let's not have any kind of fun at all, at least not for right now. All right, check it out.
Adult white males between the ages.
And the question is, what is going on with emerging adult white males between the ages of 18 to 25 or 18 to 24?
Adult white males between the ages of, say, 18 and 25 to...
The economy sucks. You're probably never going to buy a house. Your degree is useless and left you in mountains of debt. You're nowhere near capable of providing for a wife and kids, and you can't imagine yourself settling down with any of the women in your age bracket anyway, because Disney princess programming and feminism has left them fundamentally unwifeable. You've grown up in a culture which has celebrated every other form of identity besides you, and in exact proportion to how much they're not you, to the point that now schools and companies can hire based on that metric, all the while being told you can't complain or notice any of it because of how privileged you are. And if you don't know how privileged you are, it's because of your privilege. Even though you're basically a debt slave with minimal hope of a financial and familial future because your economy and culture has abandoned you. So a lot of dudes just checked out and started like smoking weed and playing video games. Some of the other ones went to countries where they like white people and men, like Thailand, I guess. And some of them were like, you know what, this is a good challenge. None of it makes sense. It's all going to shit. But fuck it, I want a big house, and if you come on my land, I'm going to shoot you with guns. I want a bunch of kids and a wife churning butter. I'm going to make it happen, you fucks.
All right, so what do you guys think is happening with young white males age 18 to 24, 18 to 25, and really a lot of young people? You got issues with white males, but it's issues with young people in general that I see, regardless of what the color is. You know, but you got a lot of young guys and girls out there that are doing very well, but there's kind of a shift. There's a different thing going on. And I think a lot of it is just because of what's happening in this country. You know, you have the economy is crazy. You want to start your life in this economy. You want to begin. You want to emerge right now in 2024. It's difficult. It's probably more difficult to emerge right now as a young person in 2024 than it was in the past. Or maybe I'm just seeing things that aren't really there. Maybe I'm seeing ghosts. I don't really know. Okay. somebody says, he sums it up. Too much soy. I see the too much soy comment twice. Shaquille Oatmeal says, smoking weed is garbage. CB says, only if you allow it, you can be your own worst enemy. Passport boy, shout out to the passport bros. Shout out to them. All right, get out of your head. I see that one as well. Drop the mic, boom. They got lazy. That's one I hear. They got lazy. Participation trophies. Backup says, it's 20-year-olds making all kinds of money. Yeah, that's something else because there are some issues, but there's a lot of opportunity for young guys because there's professions where old guys dominate and they're starting to die off. They're retiring, like your skilled trades, trucking, plumbing, HVAC. You got a lot of old guys out there that make a lot of money who are retiring. A lot of these welders, traveling guys, the travel welders, they make a lot of money. They do really well for themselves. So I think what's happening, and sorry for the curse word right here. What's happening is these guys are realizing that what they were told, or maybe what they thought might be the case, or what their parents told them, go to college, that might not be the way for everybody. For some, of course it is. If you have a path that requires college, but just to go, hang out, doing drugs, things like this, no. You need to have a direct path and a way to make money for real. You don't want to be one of these people talking about something, can you forgive my student loan because I can't pay it? You don't want to be that person. If that's you, I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just saying you can't do that anymore, 2024. You got to really be serious and do things that are going to make you some money. That's got to happen. Okay, no more time for the games. You don't want to get involved in just kind of being lazy, lethargic, sitting on your hind parts, doing nothing. You could play video games, I guess, but at the same time, you can't just have that be your identity because you're not going to do anything to help yourself go forward. So that's kind of what's happening with a lot of young people. You got some guys that understand what I'm saying, that already know what I'm saying, whose parents, whose dad told them what I'm saying when they were little kids. So they grew up knowing, okay, I'm going to have a career path. I'm going to get money. I'll be okay. And you got some guys that never heard this, broken homes, or just kind of lost in the sauce, don't know what to do. And they're out here just kind of floundering because they have no direction and no ability to find a direction. So yeah, definitely got to really go forward and do something that makes a lot of sense. All right. Now let's keep on going here. So we have New York Governor Kathy Hochul. Now she attended the funeral of NYPD officer Jonathan Diller. And let me see if I can pull up the story about Jonathan Diller right quick. Speaking about young white males, Jonathan Diller was 32 years old or 31 years old. And he was a New York Police Department officer who was slain on the job, if I'm not mistaken. And let me just, hold on. So yeah, he was killed during a traffic stop. And he was the first NYPD officer killed in the line of duty in the past 2 years. All right. So we have a lot of crime happening right now in the streets of New York City, New York State, all over the place. And at a certain point, there's policy decisions that make it so. You got a lot of career criminals who are arrested on very violent allegations and they're let out on the street with no bail. Remember the guys that stomped out the NYPD officers in Times Square, the illegal aliens? They were let out, no bail, and they fled to Arizona. They had to get manhunted and brought back to New York. The dumbest thing in the world was letting them go. Obviously, they are going to be a flight risk. And even if they're not, how do you give zero bail to those who assault police officers? See, there's policy issues that are happening in New York State, in New York City, that create an environment of danger for not only regular everyday citizens, but also the officers who are sworn to protect and serve. How can you, in an environment that is very hostile against everyone, including you? So this is her. Now, I can't hear what my man is saying, and I can't really read his lips. But after he was speaking to her in a kind of pointed way, she just kind of walked off. There it is. So that's Governor Kathy Hochul at the funeral for slain NYPD officer Jonathan Diller. Let me see if I can find. I had a picture of him. They showed his picture at the Mets game in memoriam on like the I guess we said it's a jumbotron. Let me see if I can find it right quick. But yeah, these kind of things are predictable, unfortunately, when you have an environment that does not promote safety, that does not promote law and order. That kind of thing is unfortunately going to be the result. Here we go. So here is Jonathan Diller. Let me put him on the screen for you guys right quick. All right. So you can see it's pretty big on the screen. There we go. This is at I believe it's a Mets game. It says Citi Field. So that's him right there. 1992. Young man, 1992 to 2024. Okay, so he might have been 32 or 31 years old. Very young, way too young to be gone. All right, so RIP to him, prayers out to his family. All right. Again, you're talking about what are white males doing? Well, I mean, the country is crazy. I think one of the main things we got to talk about is how, you know, this country has a bunch of areas that are messed up, like New York City. All right, now let's check this out. Here's Eric Adams on the Breakfast Club speaking about the migrant crisis, and he wants to blame it on racism. He wants to blame the migrant crisis that he's facing in a sanctuary city and a sanctuary state, New York City and New York State, respectively. He wants to blame that on racism. And he says that it's being done to him because he black. I'm not making this up. Check it out.
What happens?
All right, RP to the headphone users.
When New York City doesn't have the money for migrants. And then, you know, the migrants are in this city and they probably have to do what most poor people have to do, which is sometimes resort to crime.
Okay, wait a minute. So, do you hear Charlemagne? Charlemagne, okay, let's get a little bit of clarity. Okay. The Breakfast Club, Power 105.1. This is a New York-based radio show. Very popular all over the country. Charlemagne, remember, is the guy who Joe Biden was asking, hey, if you don't know whether to vote for me or for Trump, then you ain't black. That's him right there. That's Charlemagne. That was the guy that Joe Biden told that to. Okay? That was him. Now, did you hear what he just said? He was like, look, well, sometimes if you're a poor person, you got to resort to crime. So are you excusing the migrants out here acting the fool, stomping out police officers, getting high, drinking, tearing stuff up, terrorizing regular citizens, organized crime, stealing stuff and selling it back to the country of origin, going all over the country, spending the money? Is that what you really trying to say right here, Charlemagne? Let's just start from the top. And fair use Breakfast Club. Don't give me no copyright on this.
What happens when New York City doesn't have the money for migrants? And then, you know, the migrants are in this city and they probably have to do what most poor people have to do, which is sometimes resort to crime.
Also, have we forgotten about the debit cards? These migrants are getting like $1,400 a month for the cards, or like on the cards. They can spend it on whatever they want to spend it on. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me see. NYC migrant debit cards. Yeah. So let me see. Prepaid debit cards for NYC migrants. Okay, no Gotham, so I don't want to get no ads. Prepaid debit cards for NYC migrants face no problem so far, officials say. All right. Now, the city handed out more than 6,100 in debit cards to 23 families from Monday when distribution began through Thursday. Okay, so they're giving out monies to these families. The total cost for this program, $53 million. $53 million. Now check it out. Let's look at the actual. Let's get down to brass tacks. How much are they really going to get? The amounts loaded on a debit cards vary depending upon family size. A family of 4 with 2 children under age 5 will receive $350 per week through the end of their stay in a city shelter, according to the Adams administration. So I'm not a mathematician, but what's 350 plus 350? 700, and 7 and 7 is 14. So $1,400 for a family of 4 of migrants. So we're talking about, oh, you got to steal all this, that, and the third. Really? You come in here illegally. You don't have any actual status. You living on the street and you getting paid. You got free shelter with the shelter. You're probably getting free food and everything else, and you get money to spend on whatever you want to spend on. What are we talking about exactly? I mean, anyway, let's go back.
Right.
How is that gonna make the city safe?
Right. And that's part of the problem. Imagine having a group of people 18 to 24 years old and it's being told you can't do anything all day. When you go to
you can do something. You could go back to where you came from, go back to your country of origin. You can do that. How about that? I mean, that might be kind of a novel idea, Mr. Eric Adams, but I think that it's a valid idea. It makes sense, doesn't it?
To these hercs, and you're seeing these young people, and I walk in and I talk with them. Some of them come from West Africa, South America, Central America. All they're saying is, man, we just want to work. We don't want to sit around here all day and not do anything. That is why the real focus should be on our national government that's saying, why are you doing this to New York? Check out what they're doing. They're doing it to New York. They're doing it to Chicago. They're doing it to Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. They're doing it to Houston.
Let's pause. I don't know about Houston, but New York, Houston's in Texas. Like, what do you mean? It's right there. It's right over the border. Anyway, listen. The migrants are coming to New York and Chicago because you are a sanctuary city, sir. You pretty much lay out the red carpet for them. You're a sanctuary city and you give them money. You give them benefits. If you did not give them anything, no benefits, no shelter, no nothing, ain't not a sanctuary city, then maybe they wouldn't come there. They're not in Tennessee. They're not taking over ATL. They're here a little bit, but not really. Not like they are New York. So why are they inundating New York City? You guys are very welcoming. You got all the money and you're giving it to them. That's why. That's why I talk about the homeless crisis and all over, like in left coast especially. They want to throw money at it from these NGOs that get paid a bunch of money to do stuff like this. They want to throw money at it, but all you're really going to do is just enable it. Because if a person who smokes crack in Nowhereville, USA, Podonkville, USA, realizes he's able to get money and he could be in the sunshine most of the year, no rain in California, he'll travel to California and by some kind of way, he'll hop in a rail car, he'll do whatever it takes to get to the left coast, and he'll be a crack smoker out there.
What is the same in all those cities? All black mayors. All black mayors. And so what we're saying, same thing that I'm going through here, my brother Johnson is going through. My sister Bass is going through.
So basically he's saying because these places have black mayors, that's why they're being inundated with migrants. That's why. That's the reason. Now, Texas is also being inundated with migrants. Is it because last I checked, Greg Abbott wasn't black as a governor. I don't understand. I don't get it. You guys are so welcoming to the migrants. Why don't you want to take them? What you should be doing right now is saying, hey, let's close the border. You should say that. And are you accusing your precious Democrats of being racist? Because last I checked, there's no Donald Trump in office. That's your guys. That's your Joe Biden. And don't you have a black vice president? Isn't she the border czar? So let me get this straight. The black vice president and your president, your Democrat, they're being racist against you because you're a black mayor? Is that what we're going to say, Eric Adams? Okay, cool.
My brother Turner is going through. So our folks, what they wanted to happen, Governor Abbott wanted to happen, we're going to turn these cities against their mayors. We're going to create this environment where they're all going to go against their mayors.
Oh, so it's Greg Abbott's fault. It's his fault. Meanwhile, the border is a federal government issue. So if the border was secure, then Abbott would not be able to send these people to your particular place. So start with the federales, start with them. The border czar is a black woman, allegedly, a woman of color, Kamala Harris. Talk to her about why you're getting so many migrants coming into New York City.
Go Google what they're doing to my brother in Chicago. Go Google what they're doing to Sister Bass. So the cities have now turned against these black mayors that are making real change.
Now, there's also a bunch of migrants in Boston, Massachusetts. A lot of migrants out there in Boston sleeping in Logan Airport. Now, last I checked, the mayor of Boston was an Asian lady. Okay, so are we going to play the black card there too, or nah?
For the first time,
right, over policing black people,
and they're using this to say, okay, these black mayors are not competent. They can't run their cities. They're getting everything to the migrants and asylum seekers. This was a perfectly executed plan that we are buying into
to make black mayors look bad across the country.
And when we're doing just the opposite.
All right, so that's your main man, Eric Adams, mayor of New York City, talking about the reason why there's so many migrants who are being flown, bused, whatever, to New York City is because Greg Abbott is a racist and he wants to make black mayors across the country look bad, like Karen Bass, Brandon Johnson of Chicago, and himself. And also, I guess he said the mayor of Houston. I've not heard about Houston having issues. It's like, okay, the border crisis is happening in Texas. Houston is in Texas. So who are we going to blame for that? I don't understand. It's right there. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, here's a migrant from Ecuador talking about, what does he say? This country has now collected all the garbage that comes from other countries. This guy is in New York City as a so-called migrant from Ecuador. Check him out. And he probably speaks Spanish, so with their subtitles. And I'll recap.
Toda basura que viene de otros países recogió Estados Unidos.
Do you think the migrants are actually helping the city or being more of a chaos for the city?
Hay muchas personas que vienen a hacer lo malo, a hacer quedar en mal. Hay mucha gente de Venezuela que ha venido a este país a hacer quedar en mal. Y por todos pagamos los platos rotos todos los migrantes.
If they didn't come here to do good, what did they come here to do?
Hay mucha gente que vino, como dice, para hacer lo malo. Este país ahorita recogió toda basura que viene de otro país. Toda basura que viene de otros países recogió Estados Unidos. Mucha gente, como se dice, de malos antecedentes.
So he's saying that people from all over these places, the garbage of other countries, the bad backgrounds, are coming to the U.S. and messing everything up for everybody, all the other migrants who are not necessarily that way. But this is what I'll say. When you have just unfettered migration, illegals, whatever you want, you're going to get all kind of people. You're going to get normies who might just want to get some money, send it back home. Or you're going to have straight up criminals. I'm talking about guys that were probably locked up previously and come here and do the exact same thing they were doing in their country of origin. Like robbing, shooting, thugging, and drugging. They're doing that kind of activity here because they were doing it back home as well.
Mucha gente, como se dice, que allá en Ecuador, en Venezuela fueron delincuentes, aquí mismo lo son. Yo en un chester estuve hospedado con un migrante ecuatoriano, hasta vivía al lado mío, dormía al lado mío. Esa persona venía todos los días robando.
So he said he was in a shelter with a guy and pretty much lived right next to him, and the guy was stealing every day.
Zapatos, ropa.
Yeah, stealing shoes, clothes, and it made him angry.
Y a mí me daba iras. Estuve hasta a punto de denunciarlo, traer a la policía para que lo quite todo eso lo que tienen ahí guardado, porque me daba indignación que no vienen a hacer lo bueno aquí en este país, sino vienen a hacer lo malo.
So that's what's happening. The migrants are telling you, yo, you getting these bad guys, you know, because we're talking about people that are breaking the law by coming illegally. That's one thing. That's one layer of it. But then in that, you're going to have people that are simply coming over here and breaking the law or trying to be an asylum seeker, just trying to get into the country. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what their intention is. Then you have those who are part of organized crime, gang members, actual criminals, thugs, people that were gangbanging in their country of origin. They're coming here too. So when some people say, let's have open borders, it's like, okay, do you understand what you're saying? When you say that, you do know that you're going to get all kind of people. You're going to get those, like Barack Obama said, who are your fruit pickers and bed makers, but also you're going to get straight up violent criminals. But anyway, I digress. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. We got a few more things to get into. All right, let's go here. Okay, I want you guys to guess this city. Guess what city this is. I'm not going to tell you. You guys might recognize the city, but what city is this? Now, right away, I'm seeing some prayer mats on the ground, but I don't think we are in Middle East. Oh, everybody's praying. Okay. Where are we at? Guess that city. You'll never guess where it is. You guys somebody's close. Gotta Plague, you got it. Gotta Plague is funny. Gotta Plague says Paris or Dearborn. This is Paris. This is Paris, France. Okay. When people say they want to go to Paris, it's like, have you seen Paris? Like the movies and things of this nature, it's not quite that way. Paris has always kind of been where the normies, the regular people lived. That's why they had Versailles, right? To get away from the regular Parisians. This has been a thing that's been going on for a long time. They want to just dump you there in the city, and they want to live out in the suburbs, like far away from you. The aristocracy, they live over there, but you live in the city. Yeah, Paris. That's Paris, France. So yeah, shout out to all the Muslims. All right, shout out to everybody in Paris. If you were to go to Paris right now, like if you were just dropped into Paris and you didn't see the Eiffel Tower, like let's say, for example, you were blindfolded, right? Or you were sleeping in a coma and you woke up in Paris. If you didn't see the Eiffel Tower, you wouldn't know where you are. You might hear some French, but you really wouldn't think about it being Paris. That's Paris. Absolutely. Anyway, so here's a person. Again, we're going back to New York City. We're going back stateside with this one. So here's the caption. It says, fed up subway passenger drags an unconscious body. The person is okay. They didn't die. Off the subway in Manhattan so the train could start moving again. This pretty much sums up New York City in 2024. Almost none of the bystanders seem concerned about the man's condition, as this sort of occurrence has become part and parcel of living in New York City. All right, so my man right here, or woman, I can't tell. I don't want to assume the gender. High on drugs. And since this person is like that, the train's not moving. I don't know why, but let's check it out. Hold on, I kind of missed it. So right here, he's being dragged off. The guy that was unconscious, you see it right there in the center of the screen. He's being dragged off the actual platform, off the train. So the train's able to keep moving. So at the end he said, he's not dead, he's still breathing. But yeah, that's what you're going to see on the train in New York City. I'm good on that. People love New York. I can't tell. I don't know why people love New York so much. I don't get it. I don't see the allure. Okay, I don't want to run into nothing like that. I'm not trying to see that kind of thing. Okay, I'm just trying to enjoy my Saturday afternoon, and I'm seeing somebody high on drugs getting drug off the train onto the platform and into a heap of itself. And the smell is going to be crazy down there. I'm good. I promise I'm good. I don't want anything to do with that at all. That is not my cup of tea. But some of you guys, you love New York City. More power to you. You know what? It's all good. Some people love New York. And I say for you guys, y'all can enjoy it. I'm not going to be there crowding, getting in the way. I'm not going to be yet another guy taking up space, adding to the density. I'm good. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. I just can't. All right. Come on, man, says NYC is disgusting. I never liked it even before it was overrun by all the crime. Yeah, just too much going on. Way too much happening, but we're going to keep on rocking and rolling here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Now, we got another city we're going to visit right quick. I want you guys to guess where this is. You might be able to guess it. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Okay. So I'll put it on the screen for you guys. I'll give you guys a little screenshot, then I'll play it. So this is somebody's little tiny home type contraption with a bunch of garbage. Listen, when you see homeless people and they live like this, 100% of the time, it's drug related. You're never going to see a regular normie homeless guy live like this, or mental illness. But usually mental illness is coupled with drug addiction on the street. That's usually how it goes. You're not going to see a guy screaming at himself on a train somewhere if he's not high on drugs or drunk or something is going on. But guess where this fine location is? Y'all let me know. Some people are saying anywhere USA, San Fran, Oakland, LA, San Fran, Oakland, Philadelphia, Oakland, McAllen, Philly. Nobody got it so far. Nobody got it. Kensington, San Fran. No. Nobody got it so far. Interesting. You guys are kind of close. It is left coast. That's a hint. It is on the left coast, but it's not anywhere you guys have named so far. All right. Third world country. Yeah, that's how it looks like. Seattle. Nope, not Seattle. This is Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon. Yes, Portland, Oregon. So one of you guys got it after I said left coast. Okay. That is Portland. All right. So yeah, shout out to everybody out there in Portland. And I always say the left coast has so much natural beauty, but stuff like this just ruins it. It's like, who wants to see that? You might want to see like a nice, beautiful day, and this kind of thing is going on. All right. Yeah, nah, I'm good on that. All right. Now, speaking about Portland, we have more. First responders help a man suspected of overdosing in downtown Portland and hand his crack pipe back to him. This is the enabling of the drug use. ABL, legalized drugs. Okay. All right. Check it out. So she gets the crack pipe off the ground.
Portland? Yeah, you know Dave is today. Here's your pipe.
Here's your pipe. It's kind of broken. Yeah, the pipe's kind of broken, but here's your pipe. Yeah, keep on smoking the crack. Keep on smoking the crack. It's fine.
It's kind of broken. You want to keep it? Post Tuesday. What year?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if you just put out a fresh, brand new crack pipe. Didn't we see that crack pipe thing in Los Angeles? Again, that's Portland again. We just came from Portland. That might have been that guy's house right there that we just saw. That might have been his house. He's out on the town, chilling, hanging out. But yeah, here's your crack pipe back. I wouldn't be surprised if she reached into her jacket and pulled out a brand new crack pipe. Here, Mr. Crack Smoker, take that and keep getting high. Didn't we already see the crack pipe usage, the Biden administration handing out the little kits? We're not handing them out, but they were giving out money for the crack kits. We already saw that happen. And if you've not seen that, I'm gonna put it up on the screen right quick. Y'all give me a second, because I think that's pretty important to show. If I'm able to, if they're gonna let me. Let me see if they didn't take my video down. Yeah, I don't even really see it, but I'm gonna find it. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Is my video gone for real? Wow, that's crazy. No, I got it. I got it. Here we go. Remember this video?
So every Tuesday and Friday in Hollywood, they have a Catholic church that gives this stuff out. This is where we living at, y'all, and this is what the government's doing. Joe Biden said he spent $60 million on paraphernalia for drugs, and this is what it looks like. It says being alive. This is a meth pipe. Yep. Right here with this bubble thing. I guess you put the meth in there. This is a crack pipe. Yep. Okay. These are all instructions on how to overdose treatment and education. This is the needle in here. I'm not going to open this. That's for heroin? Yes, for heroin. It has the alcohol pass. That's a real needle? It's a needle in there. Oh my God. And these things are like a black and mild filter that you put on the crack pipe so you don't think no one's saliva, so you don't get sick.
So that's your federal government sponsoring free crack pipe kits. Like I said, I'm surprised she didn't have one handy. Hey, Mr. Crack Smoker, take that. Brand new, just for you. But anyway, 2024 USA is where we at right now. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now let's do a little bit of a shift here. We're talking about Vladimir Putin saying what we spend money on. All right. He says, because he's going to talk in his language. Well, I'll just read it. I'll read along with him. Nah. He says the U.S. spends on defense spending. And accounts for approximately 40% of global defense spending. 30% of global spending is spent. Russia accounts for 3.5% of global defense spending. That's what he's talking about compared to the USA. So we are going to go to war with NATO. With what kind of ratio? It's just nonsense. It's like, why would we do that? Why would we try to go to war with NATO? We can't do it. It doesn't make any sense. You know, so when people talking about, oh, they're going to take Poland, it's like, really? You think they're going to take Poland for what? You think they're going to try to go to war with NATO? They're going to invade a NATO country for what? Why would they do that? The whole thing with Ukraine is because they're trying to encroach upon Ukraine and take them. NATO wants Ukraine rather than having it be basically part of Russia, which has always been part of Russia. It's always been Russia, basically. It's the same people. NATO and the West really is inciting a civil war between, I call it a civil war between the Ukrainians and the Russians because it's the same people. They're inciting that kind of war because they want to take Ukraine for themselves. That's my opinion. So this whole thing about them taking Poland or somewhere else is ridiculous. They're not going to get into a war with NATO. It's an unwinnable war. Totally unwinnable. Anyway, so yeah, shout out to Vladimir Putin. Here's a video about cost of living, speaking about costs and expenditures, cost of living in the 1990s. Then we're going to get into a few more things related to that. All right. There's some music here, so I probably got to mute it. The party is jump. All right. So 1990s cost of living, yearly income in 1990s. I'm not quite sure if it's like from 90 to 99 or just the year 1990. Yearly income back then, $35,000 a year. That's not too much. That's actually not too far off of what we make right now, to be totally honest. The problem is that we have a lot of inflation. So 35,000, minimum wage, $515. And let me see, cost for a house, $120,000. I don't know when the minimum wage jumped up because when I first started working, I think they had just raised it to, I think it was when I first started working, it was $525. And I had my first job in 2001. It was $525 when I first started working. And my first job, I made $650 at my first job, $650 an hour. But back then it was $525. And then they eventually raised it to $725, which is what it is right now. A gallon of gas, $1 a gallon. Remember these days? Look at these prices. Never going to happen again. Never going to happen again. That's all over with. Okay. And then what else we got? Price for a new car, $15,000. $15,000. Bus, 50 cents for a bus fare. I was on the bus years ago and I was completely appalled. In Virginia, it was like $2, $3. I was like, man, what in the world? And I'm sure the bus, wherever you guys live, is a lot more than the $2. New York City, forget about it. Big Mac, $2. Back in the good old days. Large pizza, $8 for the whole pizza. Now back to the Big Mac for $2. I went to McDonald's recently. Don't judge me. I did it. I got what did I get? I got a medium fry and a chicken sandwich. I forget what they're called. I didn't get a drink because I had water at the house. It was like $9 and change for a chicken sandwich and a medium fry. No drink. $9 and change at McDonald's. And it was packed. And McDonald's and the line was right around the building. Okay, so pizza, for the whole pizza, $8. Dozen eggs, $1.25. Gallon of milk, $2. Can of Coke, 50 cents. I remember those days. Can of Coke, 50 cents. They had the vending machine. You could put in quarters. Have you used quarters lately at all? Like, that's a thing of the past. Even to go through your the air up in your tire. If it's not free, like at Wawa or something like that, if it's not free, you're paying $2 for air. For air to go on your tires, you're paying $2. And it's going to be a credit card machine on it. It's going to be a tap to pay on the machine. No more coins. The thing of the past. Men's haircut, $5. I remember that. I never remember $5 for a haircut. I remember $10 for a haircut. Yeah, for black haircuts at a barbershop. $10. That was the price. For kids, probably $5. Not for adults. It was $10. And now I don't know what it is. I'm seeing all kind of weird stuff now. They're talking about $100. I mean, come on, be for real. If you're gonna be anything, be for real. I'm not paying that much for a haircut. That's part of the reason why I got a bald head now. I refuse. Woman's haircut, $15. Is that true, ladies? TV, $150. Yeah, but see, TVs became very expensive. Then they became cheaper. The flat screen big TVs are actually not that much right now. All right, movie ticket, $4. Wow. Radio, $25. College tuition, $4,000 a year. Really? Yeah, I don't think a lot of these prices are ever going to come back. College tuition, forget about it. Tuition is through the roof because the federal government's involved. If not for the federales being involved, then the tuition would not be as expensive. The loan is guaranteed, so it's like writing them a blank check. Whether you pay it or not, it doesn't matter. You can get into debt for as much as you want. At the end of the day, the school still gets paid from the federales. If you get a federally backed loan, Fannie Freddie, the Fed pays that and just adds it to the student loan debt bubble, $1.7 trillion. I think that's what it is right now. What's the federal student loan debt? 1.7? Yeah, 1.7 trillion. Now they're saying it's 1.8. I don't doubt it. 1.7 to 1.8 trillion dollars with a T. Trillion with a T. Now, the Fed the federales will come after you for their student loan debt. They can garnish your wages. They can go into your checking account and just take money. They can withhold your tax return. They can do all that kind of stuff. That's why they will never, ever cancel. Look, the federales will never cancel student loan debt or child support debt. Why? These are federal debts, government debts. They're never going to cancel it because they have the power to take that money from you any kind of way they want. Bank account, tax returns, all of that. Liens, all of that. A credit card company does not have that kind of power to do that to you, but the federales do anyway. So this video is about what people are paying for their car notes. So what are you guys paying for your car notes? Do you have car notes? Do you have a new car, old car? What's your thing? A lease, a purchase? Here's a random video at a dealership, and they're asking the employees how much do they pay for a car note. They're gonna say what kind of car they have and how much they pay. All right, get ready. These prices of like in 2019, this would have been crazy, but here we are, 2024. Things have changed. Check it out. All right, and let's get some sound. That might help. How about that? Here we go.
Hey, Madison. What kind of car do you drive and what is your car payment?
I drive a 2024 Jeep Compass Latitude and it's $598 a month.
Hey Rick, what kind of car do you drive and what is your car payment?
I drive a 2020 Wrangler Sport, the 75th edition. I think I pay $800 a month.
So for a 2020 Jeep Wrangler, $800 a month. And one thing about it, this is not them telling how much they put down, because okay, you might have a certain payment, but did you put anything down? Did you put a lot of money down? That's a question that you got to ask. But still, $800 a month for a Jeep Wrangler 2020.
A month.
Hey Murad, what kind of car do you drive and what is your car payment?
23 Dodge Charger, $858.
Hey Jose.
Yeah.
What kind of car do you drive and what is your car payment?
2020 Charger, $650.
Hey Wesley. Hey. What kind of car do you drive and what is your car payment?
I drive a 2024 Power Wagon, and it's $1,000 a month.
Hey Dustin. What kind of car do you drive and what is your car payment?
I demo a 24 Ram, so it's free.
Hey Taylor. What kind of car do you drive and what is your car payment?
I drive a 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland and I paid $1,298.
Oh my gosh, look. A 24 Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland, $1,300 a month. A month. And these people work at an actual dealership. They're at a dealership and you're paying $1,300 a month for a Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland. Hold on, can I show that car right quick? Let me just show that. A Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland. The 24. Yeah. So for that, let me show you what she's actually paying for. Ew, that's what she's getting? Ew. And yeah, she's actually paying quite a bit. Well, yeah. Here we go. Here's the vehicle she has. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna pay that much for this. That for $1,300 a month? Man, look. I don't know about that. I mean, but you got a whole football team of kids. Like, what are you doing in that kind of vehicle? Okay, leather interior, but still. No, we're not gonna know my location. Let's go ahead and block. But yeah, nah, not for that. Ew, look at the shifter. Ain't no way. The shifter alone, the little dial shifter, I can't even get a nice, satisfying regular shifter. I'm good on that. Yeah, ew, I'm good. Man, look. And it's only going to get worse from here. It's only going to get worse. I don't really see it getting better. I don't see it getting better. So yeah, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, we got a few things happening. Where do I want to go next? I think I want to go to this one. All right. About cost of living, and then I move on.
I don't want to pay my taxes anymore because I know where the money's going. I don't want to go to the grocery store, spend $400 on 2 bags of organic produce that's probably injected with a now and sprayed full of glyphosate still, even though it got the organic label on it. I'm tired of battling everything. I did think about moving to another country, but I know the government corruption is everywhere. I mean, it would be nice to live in a place where I could just eat food and know it's not being poisoned, but it's just so exhausting. It's gotten to a point where I'm just mentally so tired. And I talk to a lot of people at work and everybody says the exact same thing. Like, we're on autopilot. Like, everybody's just doing the minimum that we need to do. And then just either going home and escaping or just numbing ourselves or just going to sleep or just whatever. And it's so sad. This isn't, I don't want to pay.
So yeah, the taxes, one thing about what she's saying, the taxes, yeah, I'm good on that because I know kind of where it's going. I know where it's going. Now, Trudeau, I'm going to get to what he's talking about right here. Yeah, actually, yeah, let's get to Trudeau.
Maybe young people want to start a family, but they don't know how they can afford something bigger than a 1-bedroom apartment. And with the costs of groceries, monthly bills, and all the other realities of life going up, well, that can make it hard to save for the future, hard to get ahead.
So yeah, that's what he's talking about. He's mentioning that. He's saying, hey, it's not going very good in Canada. And a lot of you guys might live out there in the great white north and may agree with him. And I think maybe at a certain point he could be to blame. Maybe some policy decisions are to blame for that. Now, I got to show this video right here. Maybe you guys who are Canadian may know who this person is. This is Canada's Deputy Prime Minister, Chrystia Freeland, exhibiting some kind of strange behavior. Kind of twitchy, or maybe it's just, maybe I'm saying things aren't really there. Maybe I'm kind of overanalyzing her behavior. So we're speaking about the young lady right there in the red dress, burgundy red dress with the tan coat.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Vancouver South. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge that we are on the unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh First.
All right, so there we have it. That's what's happening out there in Canada. We got to open up every meeting talking about, well, we're on the stolen land from the natives. I mean, it's a mess. Yeah, shout out to the Canadians, though, man. Hey, hang in there. Hang on in there. Maybe it'll get better one day. But right now, it looks kind of strange. It looks kind of crazy. Oh, let's come back to the USA. Talk about these mayors. Now, but actually, before I get to the mayor thing, what I want to do is show what's happening with some of the crime in these cities. So we got somebody trying to steal Coca-Colas. I guess they're too expensive because they're not 50 cents anymore. They're a little bit too costly to just buy. So my man right here is selling Coke, Dr. Pepper, all that good stuff. And the clerk is trying to play a little bit of defense, like he's playing football, to prevent him from stealing.
Yo, you wildin'. You're wildin'.
So his accomplice stole toilet paper and he stole some Cokes. So I guess maybe the objective here is to sell these on the streets, take them back to the house. If you're going to sell them on the street, how are you going to sell hot Cokes individually? I don't really know. Do you have a cooler you're going to put them in? I don't really know what's going on. But his man stole toilet paper.
Yo, you wildin'. You're wildin'.
Or actually, it might have been a woman. I can't tell what's going on there. But yeah, that's what's happening. I heard a New York accent, so they could have been New York. Could have been somewhere, New Jersey, Philly, who knows? Now, speaking about Philly, they put a stop to all the looting at the Wawa. Because we've seen a lot of these Wawas get totally just eviscerated, looted, destroyed. And as a matter of fact, hold on, before I play this, what they're doing with the Wawa, I want to be able to find a Wawa. Yeah, Wawa looted in Philadelphia. Let's do that. Because that's pretty important to see. Yeah, matter of fact, I had this video. It's probably one of my most viewed short videos where she was like, "Okay, you making any sandwiches or no?" You know how Wawa is. You go to the inside and you can get a sandwich ordered. You can make it right there on the thing and they'll make it for you. But she was trying to get her sandwich, but the store is being looted.
Dozens of teens ransacking a shop in Philadelphia, and it's all caught on camera. That video is now going viral. So what will police do with it?
Now, this was when? This was 2022, September. Okay, that's when that whole thing happened. Now, let's take a look at what they have done to possibly stop that. All right, check it out. Now, you got to order everything on the tablet. Before, you could order your sandwich. They make it for you right there on the tablet. But everything else would be out in the open. You can just go, get it, pick it up, take it to the front or whatever. But now, things are different. Check it out.
Yo, they made Wawa. You got to get everything off the touchscreen. Look at this shit, man. They got everything blocked off.
Everything's blocked off.
Can't go.
Okay, you can't just go pick up stuff anymore. There's nothing out on the floor you could just get. You got to order it right there on the thing, and they'll get it for you. All right? Pay first, then they get you your products. Ain't going to be no more wilding. Ain't going to be no more riots. Ain't going to be no more flash mobs. Nope. That is a thing of the past.
You can't get no more snacks, no more stealing, no more none of that shit.
No more snacks, no more stealing. I hear your Philly accent, sir. I know where you are. I know a young boy accent when I hear it.
Everything baked there, they gotta get that shit for you. This shit is unbelievable. You gotta order everything on here. The donuts and all of them. Yo, they made Wawa.
That's I mean, it is what it is. That's what happens when you act the fool like that. Like what we saw earlier, they're gonna solve it. They're gonna solve the problem. If they want to remain profitable, they're gonna solve the problem. To me, it's genius. It's genius. It's actually better than having things locked up and they gotta come open it individually for you, like how they do at some of these Walgreens locations where they got the dish detergent locked up and you gotta push a button and they gotta come get it for you. No. Rather than doing all that, just order what you want. You want a pack of gum, you want a donut, you want a sandwich, you want some pliers, you want a toenail clipper. Order it right here on the tablet, and we'll bring it to you when you're done. We'll put it right there in a little slot. Have a nice day. Sayonara, Kit rocks. I think it's brilliant, actually. Oh, first, love you. Wawa is a gas station. But it's very popular because you go inside, you can make sandwiches to order. It's all kind of snacks and goodies. It's like, think about 7-Eleven, something like that, but a little bit bigger. But not quite as big as a Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is the king of all the gas stations with stores, but different story. So yeah, brilliant idea. You living in Philly, you living in this violent environment where they want to do flash mobs. Ain't gonna be no more of the flash mobs. We're going to have you buy everything in advance. Totally brilliant. Now, let's go ahead and check this out. Here are black mayors meeting in Memphis, Tennessee. They're meeting in Memphis about the crime and the violence happening at their gas stations. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up some more here. Black Mayor Coalition.
Eyes on Memphis tonight as leaders from states across the country meet in the Bluff City for the first ever Black Mayors Coalition on Crime. Thank you for joining us. I'm Joy Redmond. Joe Birch has the night off. Action News 5's Bria Bolden joins us live from downtown Memphis and explains why Mayor Paul Young believes the collaboration is vital to responding to crime. Bria.
Yeah, Joy. Well, Mayor Paul Young actually created this coalition along with the African American Mayors Association, trying to discuss solutions to crime around the country. Now, he says having these conversations with leaders all around the country is vital. Here are some ideas he thinks might work here in Memphis.
The national crime data may show some decreases in overall crime stats, but what we discussed today is that if people don't feel safe, then the statistics don't matter.
Whether you're walking the streets of Memphis and Shelby County, pumping gas, or just sitting in your home, you deserve to feel safe wherever you go.
We're ensuring amongst ourselves that this will not be the last engagement, but that we will continue to lean in. Mayors and leaders from Jackson, Mississippi, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Durham, St. Louis, and more meeting Wednesday and Thursday to talk crime and solutions. St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones says she's taking back strategies used in Atlanta for nightclub owners and eyeing ways to reduce crimes around.
Now, keep your eyes and your ears on this one. This is crazy. Here is part of her solution to the crime happening in St. Louis, Missouri. Check it out.
Convenience stores.
We have a lot of violence around convenience stores and gas stations. So how can we hold those business owners accountable and also bring down crime? And then some of the things that we're already doing, we're finding that other mayors are doing as well.
Discussions with.
So did you hear that? She wants to hold gas station owners accountable for the crime and violence happening at gas stations. Now, she is talking about Atlanta holding club owners accountable. But with a club owner, that's much different. Clubs, a lot of times, you have to. First of all, you're serving alcohol and you're drinking it in the club. That's that's the main thing about clubs. Also, with clubs, you're gonna have people that go and hang out for a long time, kind of like loitering. If you got a gas station and people are loitering and drinking on the property, you can't actually do that. That's illegal. You can do that inside of a club. And with a club, what happens is you get guys that come in there with weapons who are not searched properly by security sometimes. And you have lax standards for who comes into the place, which can cause your crime and your violence. I know that very well from working with the club industry for a long time. I know exactly how it goes. What happens is you reduce standards for people to come into a club. Okay, we're not really going to pat you down. You my friend. Give me some money. I'll let you go in and just go in with your gun on you. It's no problem. Okay, you a girl. We're not going to search your purse, but the gun's in the purse. It's her boyfriend's gun right in the purse. Big 380 right there in the Gucci bag, right? And you got guys wearing white tees and all kind of weird stuff. You're going to have the hood element in there. You know the hood element's in there. And then when crime happens, you're acting like you don't know what's going on. That's much different than the gas station. Look, I'm just selling gas and maybe some food, some Reese's cups and things of this nature. I'm not trying to have these guys loiter and get high on my property. I'm calling the police. So how are you going to hold gas station owners accountable for the crime that happens near a gas station? It's crazy. But I digress. I'm getting triggered.
The Council on Criminal Justice and chats between leaders were closed to the public and media. According to the Memphis Shelby Crime Commission, overall crime went up 6% in Shelby County in 2023 compared to 2022. Violent crime was also up in 2023, and the biggest issue, property crime, up nearly 16% in the county. You may remember more than 14,000 vehicles were stolen in Memphis last year. Mayor Paul Young specifically named Charlotte's Operation Scarlet as something to possibly imitate in Memphis. Last year, Charlotte police found 180 stolen luxury vehicles valuing...
You see that? In the dealership stealing. I mean, you got to be really brazen to do something like that. In the dealership stealing from the showroom floor. Out of this world.
More than $11 million, guns, and drugs. Federal charges are being pursued in that case.
And people want the short-term solution. They want to figure out how we're going to stop crime today. And then we want to figure out how do we stop the crime of the future.
So the mayor said that future conversations with this code.
So that's what's happening with the black mayors meeting in Memphis. Memphis, I tell everybody, people say they want to come to Tennessee. They say, hey, ABL, where should I move? I say anywhere but Memphis. Don't go to Memphis. I mean, Memphis is kind of like Atlanta to a certain extent. If you know where to go, you'll be fine. But if you don't know where to go, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And sometimes crime can happen to you in places where you don't really expect. In Atlanta, I know exactly where to go without having an issue. Some places it's kind of a toss-up. You go to Buckhead, you probably be okay. You probably be okay at Lenox. You probably be okay, but it might be some random guy on a random day going to Lenox and decide to shoot it up. It could happen, but that's not necessarily that common, but it can happen out there. There are some parts of the metro area where it's not going to happen. I'm going to gatekeep those for now. But anyway, shout out to you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We have more going on. Now, this is what I like to see. I like to see stuff like this. This is the president of Guyana, a country in South America, in between Venezuela and Suriname. Northern part of the country, the northeast part of the country. And I guess it's considered a Caribbean country because it's right by the Caribbean Sea. But this was amazing. This is an exchange between a BBC reporter and the president of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali. And by the way, I think this same guy got destroyed by a South African politician. The same guy got destroyed by him. So here he is again getting destroyed by another person, this time the president of Guyana, about climate change. Because about climate change, people are trying to pressure Guyana to not explore natural gas and oil off their coast. Oh, it's going to be bad for the environment. It's going to be bad for Guyana. Greenpeace said you shouldn't take any gas or oil out of the ground. Leave it in there. It's like, what? You know how much money is right here beneath us? Why would we not explore natural gas and oil? Are you going to pay for the things we got to pay for to develop us, to mitigate any kind of quote unquote climate change effects? You're talking about climate change, how we're below sea level. Are you going to do anything to mitigate the damages of a quote unquote rising sea level? Are you going to pay us any money? No. Okay. Well, let us make our own money and stay out the way. How about that? So let's check this out.
Look at what's going on here. Over the next decade, 2 decades, it is expected that there will be $150 billion worth of oil and gas extracted off your coast. It's an extraordinary figure, but think of it in practical terms. That means, according to many experts, more than 2 billion tons of carbon emissions will come from your seabed, from those reserves, and be released into the atmosphere. I don't know if you as a head of state went to the COP in Dubai.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Do you know that Guyana has a forest forever that is the size of England and Scotland combined? A forest that stores 19.5 gigatons of carbon, a forest that we have kept alive, a forest that we have kept alive.
Does that give you the right? Does that give you the right to release all of this carbon?
Does that give you the right to lecture us on climate change? I am going to lecture you on climate change because we have kept this forest alive that stores 19.5 gigatons of carbon that you enjoy, that the world enjoy, that you don't pay us for, that you don't value, that you don't see a value in, that the people of Guyana has kept alive. Guess what? We have the lowest deforestation rate in the world. And guess what? Even with our greatest exploration of the oil and gas resource we have now, we will still be net zero. Guyana will still be net zero. With all our exploration, we'll still be net zero.
Powerful words, Mr. President. But
I'm not completed as yet. I am not finished as yet. I am just not finished as yet. Because this is the hypocrisy that exists in the world. The world in the last 50 years has lost 65% of all its biodiversity. We have kept our biodiversity. Are you valuing it? Are you ready to pay for it? When is the developed world going to pay for it? Or are you in the pockets? Are you in the pockets of those who have damaged the environment? Are you in the pockets? Are you and your system in the pockets of those who destroyed the environment through the Industrial Revolution and now lecturing us? Are you in their pockets? Are you paid by them? Are you paid to keep their message?
Oh man, I mean, you're talking about somebody getting destroyed. I mean, good grief. My man was prepared. Dr. Irfan Ali, Muhammad Irfan Ali, the president of Guyana, was prepared. He had a lot of time. That is a snippet of a 25-minute or so interview from BBC in which this reporter was just getting stomped into wine. I'm talking about cowboy boot stomped, cleaning the wine, spurs and all. Fantastic. Great showing. And what he's saying is right. It's like, look, we champion biodiversity. We champion being a clean country. We have our rainforests. We are great for the environment. Even when we do the oil and gas exploration, we're still going to be net zero. So what are you talking about? And like I always say, like I said in my video today about this, if they're really serious about trying to combat so-called climate change, if they really want to do it, you wouldn't be talking to Guyana, a clean country. You wouldn't talk to them. You talk to India and China. All you would do is be over in India and China. You would set up an office or several offices of climate change in India and China. Specifically, pardon me, the USA wouldn't be in question. We're a very clean country. Guyana, very clean country. Go to India and China where all the pollution is happening. But you know what? As I was saying in my video earlier today, the reason why there's not so much pressure put on India and China is because the game is Western countries send their dirty pollution to India and China to get done. So how are we going to go over there and tell them to stop being so dirty and stop being so, I guess you would say, pollution causing? How are we going to go over there and tell them that when we are part of the reason why they are like that? If not for all the demand from the US and other Western countries for things, then they would not have so much manufacturing jobs. They would not have so much capacity to manufacture, therefore not as much pollution. It's simple. China and India are the factories of the West. And a lot of that carbon emission that comes from them comes from producing things for us. So all they can do is bully Western nations into abiding by their climate grift, because it's a grift. It is. It really is. Because again, if you were serious, you would go over there and tell them that, but you're not serious. That's part of the reason why I know it's a grift. Plain and simple. But yeah, shout out to my main man. Again, Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali, the president of Guyana, for destroying the reporter from BBC. All right. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, let's talk about it. Christ is King. Is that anti-Semitic? Listen, at a certain point, everything can't be anti-Semitic. Sometimes things are racist or anti-Semitic or whatever. But when the term keeps getting used over and over, when it doesn't really apply to some random obscure thing you didn't even know about, it's like, really, you're going to call me a anti-Semite for that? Really? I just don't understand. Now, let's play this. Here's Andrew Klavan from Daily Wire talking about Candace on a podcast, explaining why using the term Christ is King was anti-Semitic. I'm not making this up.
Totally fair.
And this sound, I don't know who is the sound guy on this podcast, but whoever the sound guy is needs to get fired immediately. But let's check it out. We got one ear action going on. We got the levels being way too high. Can you please get an engineer or at least a new microphone, a new mixer or something? Let's keep on going.
Question, and it was because one of our major talents at the Daily Wire parted ways. The Daily Wire parted ways with Candace Owens, and part of it was things that she was saying that we felt were strongly anti-Semitic, and she was doing it in such a way that it was kind of hard to pin down. So I was trying to show where these things happen.
Kind of hard to pin down means that nobody else would catch it except for those who want to be offended. That's what that means. That's what that means. And this logo down here says fight, laugh, feast, every knee will bow, and there's a flag with a cross. So I guess you're on the Christian podcast, maybe, perhaps.
So for instance, she retweeted a tweet accusing a Jewish guy of being drunk on Christian blood, which is, of course, an ancient slander against the Jews, that they eat Christian children. Totally fair question, and it was because...
Listen, until you said that, I never heard it before in my life. I've never in my life heard about Jews drinking Christian blood. I never heard that before. Now, some are going to say, how could you not? Listen, everyone doesn't know everything. Everyone does not know everything. A lot of you guys don't know who this man is. I do. Just because I do doesn't mean you gotta know it as well. I never grew up learning about the Jews and their history. For me, like most black kids in the all black community, you were either white or black or mixed. And that's it. Maybe you're Mexican or Asian or something like that. But beyond that, we don't think about like ethnic groups or white people. You know, we don't think that deeply. It's not that serious. So I don't know all these things that they know. They may know it because that's their history. I don't know all their history. Just like a lot of you guys did not know about Juneteenth until this whole thing with the federal government. It's not part of your culture growing up. How would you know that? Everyone doesn't know everything. And it's okay. It's okay. Now, you can tell me, okay, this is what that means. Okay, cool. But don't call me an anti-Semite for a thing that you know that you don't know if I know. Anyway, so what happened was all she did was like a tweet that was mentioning something like that because this rabbi guy had been attacking her for a long time. And there was somebody that tweeted that his information was incorrect. And she was liking it because he just disproved what the guy was saying. And at the end, it was a whole thing about the Christian blood. So because she liked that tweet, he calls her an anti-Semite for that. You see what I'm saying? That's stupid stuff. When you got that kind of stuff going on, you know what? I'm out. Some are going to say she got fired. If I was Candace, I would just leave. If I was Candace and I was in that same situation, I'm being accused of being an anti-Semite, I'm being accused of hating Jews, all this and that for saying Christ is king. If that's going on, you know what? Obviously, this is not a really good environment for me to be in. I don't need to be here. I don't need y'all, by the way, anyway. I'm Candace Owens. I'm going to go ahead and leave. That's what I think happened, in my opinion. All right. So, yeah. AB says, don't tell me, ask me if you need something. Yeah, ask me a question. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Inferno Chaos says he converted from being a Jew to a Catholic, but is he ethnically Jewish? That's the question, because you don't have to be a religious Jew to be an ethnic Jew, from what I was able to learn. I mean, that's what they say. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird to me, because you got guys that say, okay, you're Jewish if it goes through your mother, like Drake. Drake is Jewish because his mom is Jewish, but he's also black and white mixed. So how does that really work? So what's the actual Jewish ethnicity? Who knows? Whatever. Anyway, I'll move on. I don't want to be called anti-Semitic for asking the question, because that happens. But here's the guy that had been harassing Candace. This guy, the Rabbi Shmuley. All right, check him out.
Paraphrase the great Winston Churchill when it comes to Ben Shapiro. Never in the annals of Jewish history has one so small been guilty of a sin so egregious over a complaint so petty. Ben, you're complaining about a Purim, like a Halloween costume. You employed and raked in millions of dollars off a host who highlighted that Jews drink Christian blood.
So he's talking about the tweet that she liked, which disproved the thing that he was talking about, because what he said was that Candace was sending her followers after him and trying to harass him in the DMs. But the tweet that he's referencing happened after she said that he had been harassing her. So he was just wrong. I mean, this is crazy.
That the Israeli Defense Forces are guilty of genocide. Someone who praised Kanye West, who loves Hitler, who killed 10,000 of your people every single day. You didn't create the Daily Wire. You created the Daily Liar, a sewer of racism. That George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose, not because he couldn't breathe with a cop's knee.
You see what we're dealing with? You see what we're dealing with? You understand? This is the kind of thing we're dealing with. And if you say that he's wrong or criticize him, you're an anti-Semite. You see how that works? It's stupid. I mean, come on.
Knee on his neck, and misogyny, that Brigitte Macron, the First Lady of France, has male genitalia. Are you guys not embarrassed? It's disgusting. But above all else, that Jews are killers. We killed Michael Jackson. We run sex pedophile rings. Ben, this stuff is
Jeffrey Epstein. I digress.
Is rancid. It's gross, and you should be ashamed.
All right, so there we have it. That's your man. That's the Rabbi Shmuley who had been harassing Candace Owens for 2 years on the social media. That's him. And that could be part of the reason why she's no longer at a Daily Wire, because of guys like that. Okay. Now, speaking about the Jays and Israel and whatnot, Joe Rogan came out and said that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. All right. Very, very bold statement from Joe Rogan to make, for him to be in his position. Probably the biggest podcaster in the world. Very, very bold statement. Do you agree, disagree? I'm going to play it. I can't show it because obviously Joe Rogan, I'm not trying to get them on my back talking about copyright, but I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to play a response from Fox News.
Hey, I want to know what she was fired for. Because was it criticism of Israel? Was it, I mean, did she show that Edward Snowden video that he put up on Twitter that shows them drone bombing those kids that are, those men, I should say, unarmed people that were walking towards the rubble that clearly weren't causing any danger to anybody?
Yeah,
They just bombed them.
Yeah, no, it's your duty. It's just like for Biden or whoever you like, you're supposed to cover up for them. Because
But the whole thing is like they were always saying they're only targeting Hamas and everybody else is a casualty. Well, if those guys are just unarmed civilians and they're walking alone, that's what they appear to be.
Dresden.
And you just blast them from the sky with robots.
This is the tragedy of war.
Yeah, this is insane. And no one knows what to think now, because if you can't talk about that, if you can't say that's real, then you're saying that genocide is okay as long as we're doing it. And
that is what we're saying.
And if you're saying that from a perspective of someone who literally went through the Holocaust, or your people, your tribe, went through the fucking Holocaust, and now you're willing to do it?
I hope the irony's not lost on you.
It's so nuts. It's so hard to imagine that someone, where a culture, like a country was like officially founded in, what, 47?
48.
48? Okay. Officially founded. So that's so recent. and you guys are willing to do what was done to you that led you to believe that you needed to start your own country? You're willing to do that at least on a small scale in Gaza. Like, there's nothing left. If you see the videos, let's see some recent footage of Gaza.
So what do you guys think? Do you think there's a genocide happening from the Israelis to the Palestinians? Is it like that? Are they just leveling Gaza, trying to take it over, trying to reclaim it? Like, what's your thought process on that? Okay, you guys let me know what you think. Again, that was Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan podcast talking about the Israel-Palestine conflict and how Israel, just after, escaping the Holocaust, are doing the same thing to the Palestinians. That's what he says. Whatever you guys think, let me know in the comments. Now, here is Guy Benson, who's LGBT and married to a man, just saying, by the way, here's his reaction to what Joe Rogan said.
So many of their chants involve the word genocide, accusing Israel of genocide, accusing the United States of being complicit in a genocide. It is an absolute lie. It is not true. It is a slander. There was a great piece in Newsweek this week published by one of the top experts on urban warfare in the world at West Point, and he explicates how the Israeli military has set a new standard in urban warfare that has reduced, in a totally unprecedented way, reduced civilian casualties. Israel goes out of its way to avoid that. It is the opposite of genocide, and it really bothers me to see that word abused over and over again.
So who do you guys agree with? Joe Rogan, Guy Benson, or neither one? You have a different point of view. You let me know. I played both sides of the proverbial argument. You guys let me know what you think. Do you align more with Joe Rogan or Guy Benson from Fox News? Y'all let me know in the comments. All right. So you agree with him? Okay. Well, I played both for you guys. I most certainly did play both. Okay. I have more here. Can we get into it? What did I want to play? What did I miss? Hold on. Let me see. I think Sam Bankman-Fried, 25 years in the penitentiary, Big Rocks, Little Rocks. Baltimore, Maryland mayor. Now, I'm not gonna do a poll. I'm just ask a question. It'll be a simple question. I'm gonna ask it, and whatever your answer is no judgment. There's no judgment. I'm not gonna judge you for your answer. Okay. Now, remember. This is the mayor of Baltimore. I believe his name is Brandon Scott. Yeah, Brandon Scott. Pretty young guy. He's actually my same age. We're both 39 years old. I know I got a great beard. It's fine. If I shave my beard, I will look to be his exact same age. Or if I dye my beard his color, I will look to be the same age as him. 39 years old. He's actually a little bit older than me. He'll be 40 in a few days in April. So is this meme racist? So we all know what happened with the accident in Baltimore. The cargo ship hit the bridge and the bridge collapses in the water. So that area is shut down. The harbor is shut down, the ports, the road, everything is shut down until they're able to clean it up, fix it, repair, whatever. And there were a few men that died in the water. I think they were pretty much all guys that were working on the actual bridge, and it might have been some passengers. So, as a result, Elijah Schaffer posts this meme and says, "That bridge be closed, yo," with his picture. Why would you do that? What does the mayor got to do with the accident at all? Why would you say anything? Why is it funny? What's the point in making a joke about this guy? For what reason? Because understand this. The default position is that conservatives are racist. That's the default position from everybody that's not conservative. So when you do things like this and people agree with it, what's going to be the takeaway? Oh, guess we're right. So I don't understand the purpose. What's the reason behind doing something like that? I don't really get it. It's weird. Now, how is the bridge the fault of anybody in politics? An accident. If you have an accident on the road, like a car wreck, are you going to blame the mayor for a car wreck? Are you going to blame the mayor if a plane crashes? So why blame the mayor or anybody in politics, whether it be the governor, the mayor, city council? Why blame anybody for an accident happens in the water? It makes no sense. It's dumb. So why would you post this? And this picture has 24.1 million views. It kind of went viral. There's another one talking about the DEI mayor from another guy. I am yes, you are no. This guy. So then he says, this is Baltimore's DEI mayor commenting on the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge. It's going to get so much worse. Prepare accordingly. Now, first of all, how are you a DEI mayor? You're elected, not hired. Oh, that's the same thing as being hired. No, it's not. Stop playing games. Let's not even do that. Let's not be intellectually dishonest. It's not the same thing as being hired. When you're talking about DEI practices, you're talking about a corporation or a company having certain, I guess you would say quotas, maybe, or I don't want to say quotas. What's the different word from what I'm trying to say? A company has certain policies, perhaps, certain initiatives or goals to hire certain people from certain classes for a particular reason, to have a certain outlook in their entire company. We're talking about an election. It's your constituents, whatever they want. Why would it be about diversity when Baltimore is majority black, 61% black? Baltimore is minority white. So why would a black mayor in a minority white city be a diversity hire? If anything, if there was a white mayor like Martin O'Malley in 2007, if anything, he'd be a diversity hire, not Brandon Scott. But Martin O'Malley was not considered to be a diversity hire. He was just a mayor, as is Brandon Scott. So what are we talking about exactly? Why is he fair game? Tell me the reason why. What's the reason, Lee? You spamming me with this. What's the reason why he's fair game? Tell me the reason. Why? Why do that? What does Brandon Scott got to do with the ship crash in the water? You tell me. Now, let's talk about this. We're talking about crime in Baltimore and violence and actual city policy. Then let's criticize them all day long. Now, in the criticism, there's no need to bring up the race or have any kind of racial stereotypes be mentioned. Talk about, hey, this guy sucks, his policy sucks. Same thing with Joe Biden. Hey, Joe Biden is leaving the border wide open. He had policies on the books left it wide open. His race is irrelevant. I don't care if he's white, black, whatever. If you have bad policy, you get bad policy. I couldn't care less. Whoever the best person is, you are going to be the best person. If you're doing badly, I'm going to criticize you on that. Why make jokes about race and things of this nature? Why say he's a diversity hire? And how you like it don't even make no sense. It's just dumb. You're a black mayor in a black city and you're a diversity hire. How is it a funny joke? Where's the joke at? I don't get it. Why make race jokes about black mayors and then get upset when somebody says that you're a racist? You could easily just totally avoid that. Just focus on the policy. But again, there's no policy here at all. It's no policy talking about an accident in the water. Now, people are saying you're being sensitive. Tell me the reason why this makes sense to do. See, I try to just use my brain a little bit. I just try to use my brain. I don't do things that are going to be counterproductive. When you do things like this, it's counterproductive because you're just playing into their hand. Listen, people said that he was dressed inappropriately because he came out during the press conference wearing the Letterman jacket with the Baltimore seal on it. Notice nobody's wearing a suit out here because it's 2:00 in the morning and it's cold in Baltimore right there on the water. It's probably like 35 degrees.
Everyone, this is a unthinkable tragedy. We have to first and foremost pray for all of those who are impacted, those families. Pray for our first responders and thank them, all of them working together, city, state, local, to make sure that we, everyone, this is a unthinkable tragedy.
So did he say that bridge be closed? See, all you're doing is just reinforcing the stereotypes. If you already know that people think you're a racist, why would you make racist jokes? This might be kind of, I don't want to use that comparison because you guys are not going to be able to understand. But basically, if someone thinks a negative thing about you, why would you make jokes to reinforce it? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. It's just not logical. I don't understand. It's weird. People just do dumb things, and then when you call them out on it, they get offended. But let me see if I can play the Joy Reid clip, because that was pretty important as well. So people said that he was dressed inappropriately, and he's a DEI mayor. So what happened? He goes on Joy Reid's show wearing a hoodie. So all that's going to happen, I know what they're going to think in their mind. I already know what they're going to think. What's happening is he's going to wear the hoodie, dress down even more to play into this whole thing about, oh, I'm not qualified, so I'm not dressed right. He's going to go on Joy Reid. He's going to talk about the whole thing. Then you're going to have think pieces and everything else written about this. You got to think about what you're doing before you do it. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys just how many articles there are about this. So it's not just me saying it. This is what I'm saying. You're making a dumb decision and you're shooting yourself in the foot for no reason. You want to laugh at a joke that's not even funny, but check it out. Watch this. So look how many articles we got. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. So all I did was just search Brandon Scott. So look, here we go. Okay. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott responds to racists calling him a DEI mayor. We got Baltimore Banner, Forbes, The Hill, Daily Beast, Newsweek, Baltimore Sun, The Root, Hindustan Times, Indian Paper, Bloomberg, MSNBC, USA Today. The list goes on. We got pages upon pages, CBS, okay, WYP. It goes on. You see what I'm saying? It's like, so this is what I'm talking about. When you do things like that, you're not helping yourself. It's the same thing I said with, what's the name? With January 6th. Right after it happened, I'm like, yo, they're going to talk about this for years because it didn't help. All we did was act a fool out there on that day. Everybody should disavow it because if you don't, they're going to link that to you and it's going to be a problem. And we see now, years later, guys still getting hemmed up behind that. I said it would happen right there on that day. Some are going to say, well, look, we shouldn't get in trouble. It's our house. And see, you just don't understand. I know things and I'm trying to tell you, hey, this is not a good idea to do. And you do it and you get hemmed up. And then my words just totally like it's nothing. I'm overreacting, but I'm telling you what's going to happen. People don't listen. I knew about January 6th being a bad idea before January 6th happened. I was invited to January 6th by a lot of people. I already knew it was going to be a problem, and it was a problem. And then afterward, people that were supporting it, they got hemmed up. They got in trouble. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. Now, some are going to say he made it about him, but the so-called joke went viral. It was all over the place. You got 1,000 think pieces. So he goes on the air and talk about the actual tragedy that happened. And they're asking him about this question and he can't avoid it. So how is he making it about him when they're asking him about a thing that has 25 million views and 100 articles about it? How are you really going to avoid that? You can't. He's not that young. He's 39 years old. I'm the same age as him. So we're not young. We're middle-aged. Okay. We'll be 40 this year, 1984. We're the same age. So we are right at, if we live to be 80, we're right at the middle of our age. We are not young. All right. So that's pretty much what it is. Drop it and move on. I'll drop it whenever I getting doggone ready. Okay. All I'm saying is that people just do dumb things and then they don't want to be held accountable. That's why you unsubscribe. Well, if you unsubscribed, then why are you right here right now? You can leave. You can go back to your basement, eat your chicken tendies, and have a good old time. Okay? OnlyFans girls are having a sale. Have fun. You don't got to be here right now watching if you don't want to be here. If you want to be here, I welcome you. You can unsubscribe and come back. It's all good. But if you don't want to be here, then don't be here. It's okay. Now, listen, Zelensky's hoodie. Zelensky would go to the White House. See, look, if you go to the White House wearing the hoodie, hopefully you're trolling me because some are going to say that he was dressed inappropriately and it's like Zelensky and Fetterman. Listen, John Fetterman was wearing basketball shorts and hoodies on the Senate floor. Okay. Brandon Scott had on a Letterman jacket with the city logo on it outside at 2:00 in the morning when it's cold to do a press conference. He probably was in the bed sleep. Nobody was wearing a suit. That's much different than going to the Senate as a senator, a U.S. senator, where everyone wears a suit and it was a dress code. It's much different than being outside at 2:00 in the morning at night when it's cold. I mean, come on, man. Like, we gotta stop being dumb at a certain point. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. And then also with Zelensky. Zelensky would travel from Ukraine. He would come from Ukraine all the way across the world and go to the White House wearing sweatpants. Come on. And asking for billions of dollars with sweatpants on. Be for real. Stop playing games. And he's a president of a country versus a mayor of Baltimore. Like, let's not. let's not do that. I mean, for real. Let's use our brains for more than a hat rack. For real. For real. All right. Yeah, you're not young at 40. You're not young at 40. Listen, I'm 40. I'll be 40 this year. Okay, I'm not a young man anymore. I was a young man when I was 20 years ago. Not no more. My back says something else. I get up in the morning, my back say, yo, you're not young no more. I'm not an old man, but here's something else. I'm going to say this and I move to the cause. People are used to elderly politicians. When you see State of the Union, the federal government, you see in a bunch of senior citizens, a retirement community. The State of the Union address is a retirement community outing. When you see a guy who is 40 years old, he appears to be a baby compared to all the elderly politicos in office. That's what that is. Okay, that's all that it is. In reality, your founding fathers were in their 20s and 30s at the oldest. If you were 33 back then, you were old. How old were the founding fathers? Can we look into that? Just for a little bit of context. Okay. On July 4th, 1776, James Monroe, 18. Aaron Burr, 20. Alexander Hamilton, 21. James Madison, 25. Thomas Jefferson, 33. John Adams, 40. Paul Revere, 41. And the old man, George Washington, 44 years old. Okay. That was founding fathers. Now we got politicians getting started at age 60 for the first time. These are old people. 40 is old. I'm old. I'm not elderly like I'm about to be kicking the bucket, but I'm not a young man either. Anyway, but I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Elijah is gold. Elijah is a racist. Elijah is an edgelord and a racist and has been that way for a long time. If you enjoy racial humor, then you like him. And that's fine. That's your business. But I don't think that it makes any sense to do a thing like that, because every time he does it, it makes it look like conservatives are just racist. That's what it looks like to the outside world. So it's like, I don't understand the purpose. It's weird. But anyway, super chats on deck. Then I'm going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Yeah, how old is Vivek? Vivek is, 37, I think? Vivek is 38. 39 in August. So right around my same age. A 1980, mid-80s baby. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's why people that are actually kind of middle-aged look young, because you got so many elderly people out there on the hill. People like, what's your man? Mitch McConnell, 82. Bernie Sanders, also 82, 83. Nancy Pelosi was young when JFK was inaugurated in 1961. That's what's going on. All right, let's keep on going here. All right. Thank you to Fifth Cup of Coffee, who says, just becoming ABL support. Thank you for that. Thank you to J Flow, who says, happy Easter and God bless you, ABL US. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Thank you to Joseph Hendricks for the emoji donation. I can't see what that says, but thank you anyway. Thank you to Apple, who says, happy Easter, ABL. Christ is risen. Peace and joy. Thank you for that. Thank you to Apple again, who says RIP NYPD officer Jonathan Diller. So sad, very much so. Also, he says, like to get your retired Chicago police officer friends' views on Democrat politicians showing up to funerals when their policies contributed to crimes. Good question. Thank you to Lisa Johnson, who says, thank you. I really enjoy your show. Thank you for your support. I most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Apple again, who says, RIP Lou Gossett. Yes, RIP Lou Gossett. Favorite memory of him, ABL, Firewalker. I can't really tell you right now. I'm not necessarily going to sit here and lie to you that I know a lot of what he did off the cuff, but I think he was in Different World, right? I remember him most for that. Lou Gossett Jr. I think he was in that. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. Let me see. Oh, he wasn't in that. See, nah. I remember him, but I can't tell you exactly what he was in. But yeah, shout out to Lou Gossett Jr. He passed away March 29th yesterday. RIP to him. Thank you to Bearded Clam for gifting an ABL membership. Thank you to Regina, the godmother, for becoming an ABL member. I appreciate you. Thank you to John Santabria, who says, all right, I'll pay. I got a job now. So ABL, longtime subscriber from SoCal. Shout out to you, boss, in the belly of the beast, I see. Thank you to Apple again, who says, Anthony Brown Logan, Easter is the first Sunday after the first full moon, after the March 21st equinox. Every 3 to 4 years, it's in March. Earliest, March 22nd, latest April 24th. Oh, okay. I had no idea about all the parameters. Movable feast, Easter 3/31 and 2013. Interesting. Thank you to Daphne Roberts, who says, so the man who gave his last drop of blood for our many sins gets usurped by the transgender awareness. We've lost our ever-loving minds. I'm with you, boss. Well, bossette. Shout out to you, Daphne. Thank you to Apple again, who says, love woman who stood up for herself on bus. Awesome. Right on. Also, Apple says, deeply concerned of knockout game. Democrats responsible. Yeah, it's been happening in New York City. A lot of girls getting punched in the face. Excuse me, at random, apparently. Thank you to Bobcat MIT for gifting out 5 ABL memberships. Bobcat MIT also says Norfolk Shipping Terminal is hiring to get ready for all that cargo that used to go to Baltimore. You know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is a lot of the Baltimore guys are going to go down to Norfolk because a lot of the longshoremen, they're going to go without work up there. So they go down Norfolk and work there. Now, I don't know where they're going to live, but that's a different story. They're probably going to be in the extended suites and the studios for less and things of this nature. They're going to do something, but you cannot commute from Baltimore to Norfolk every day. That's going to be impossible unless you got a spare space shuttle or something. But anyway, think of the law there who says Governor Adams is so ignorant, crying. We're talking about Mayor Adams, crying about illegals coming here, but yet giving them credit cards out of my pocket. Quit blaming other people for your problems. Think of the Bina, who says barge hits bridge in Oklahoma. Bridge stands, but it's closed down. Yeah, I saw that. Now, this barge was a lot smaller, like it wasn't really a ship, and it probably wasn't loaded with anything. So, yeah, a bridge can withstand that pretty easy. They're talking about, we got to reinforce these bridges because the bridge in Baltimore didn't have necessary guards on the posts. I mean, listen, nothing was going to stop that bridge from collapsing when they got hit by that bridge. I mean, by that ship. That ship was so big and so heavy, nothing was going to, there's not much you could do to prevent a bridge from collapsing or being seriously damaged when it gets hit by a ship of that size. It's so big and so heavy, what are you really going to do? Okay, thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says, are you following the story about eliminating the 6% standard commission for real estate agents? I saw that, but I've not been following it. Some say this will negatively impact the real estate market and hurt first-time home buyers. Thoughts? I don't know a lot about that to really comment on it, but I'm going to look into it. And shout out to you guys who are watching the Uncle ABL videos. I was just talking about how much cash you need to buy a home for the first time. They're talking about at least $120,000, at least bare minimum for a house that's like $400,000. If you're buying a house that's like $400,000, you're going to need bare minimum $120,000 a year in income. And you're probably going to need about 70, 80,000 in cash in your pocket to get started. Maybe at least $40,000 in cash, because you need a down payment. Even if you got a 3.5% FHA, that's going to be about 15, 18,000, closing costs, all of that. You're looking at 20 grand off rip just to get into the house, even with a 3.5 FHA. And don't even get a conventional 20. Forget about it. You're going to need a lot of money, a lot of yearly income to be qualified for the loan, and a lot of cash to actually get in the house. And you've not bought furniture yet. You've not set aside money for repairs. You've not done any repairs. You've not done any kind of fixer-upper activities. You've not gotten money to get somebody to come, you've not done anything except for just move into the house. So yes, buying a home right now, very, very expensive. Very expensive. Also, think of the law theory says, ABL, have you seen videos of Japan 7-Elevens? No, I've not. Thank you to Blast Radius, who says white liberal Westerners should mind their business and fix the problems in the UK and America. Stop lecturing other nations on how they should run things, especially if China is not of concern. 100% correct. Michael Critchlow says, according to GAD, Jewish is not an ethnicity. Very observant point. Thank you, Papa Nia Shelley, who says Elijah mad because he got jumped by some brothers back in the day. True story. I watch him. It doesn't bother me, but I get ABL's stance. Exactly. He's a racist. That's all. So he's just trying to shield it with comedy, but it's just I know a racist when I see one. When I already know kind of what's going on with a guy like that. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Think of the Blast Radius, who says, I'm black and live here in Chicago. Black Democrats, mayors all around have been a disaster. That's not racism. Those are facts. Think of the Bobcat MIT, who says, I read that one about Norfolk hiring. Think of the Dan the Man, who says, I appreciate your work. Dan from Canada, thank you for that. I most certainly appreciate you. All right, we got calls on deck. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's also an email in the description to get on through Skype. If it don't work properly, don't blame me, blame the white man, because it ain't my fault. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's get right back to it. It's not obvious to you, Bandit Mayor, but it's obvious to me. You're different than me, and that's fine. Everybody got their own opinion. That's the beauty of America, right? That's the beauty of America. We can all have our own opinions, and we can all live together and coexist. Carl Sim says, I'm buying 10 to 20 acres in the mountains and starting a patriot community. All people are welcome. Well, hey, shout out to you. Hopefully we don't have no weird commune stuff going on, and it's all patriots doing the right thing. I've seen some of those work pretty well. I think there's one in Arizona, like not in the mountains, but just like out kind of like a Phoenix type area, and it works pretty well because as long as everybody's on the same page, then it's all good. Okay. Yes, blame the white man. It's a joke that I always say, Todd Terrell. It's a parody on those who always blame the white man for everything. I say, I don't blame the white man for everything, but some people do. All right, let's go 215. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Good. Hey, listen. Hi, I was telling some people, and I not got into it with my coworkers. We were talking with one of my coworkers, and when people say voting doesn't work, I said, and people was like, well, how are we able to fix the community if voting doesn't work? I said, well, the community has to start with the people first. And then on top of that, your politicians, your DAs, you got to know who you're voting for. The news will show you who's running. And it's up to you to do your independent research, because the news is not going to tell you everything. You can't always a lot of times you can't rely on the news.
Right, yeah. And then as far as voting is concerned, I will tell everybody, you got to vote locally. Locally is where it really matters, and that does make a difference. And people don't vote locally, so what ends up happening is you got a lot of elderly people that run your town. The things happen in your town, it's like 5,000 people that's over 65 years old. They're the ones that pretty much run the shots. They run the show. If you don't know your local politicians, you don't know your mayor, your treasurer. If you don't know them, you didn't vote for them, then things happen without your consent, pretty much, without your input. I put it to you that way. You can sense it by not voting, but you have no input because you didn't vote.
Exactly. And there was a guy who said, F Trump. Like he was like, I hope Trump doesn't get back in office. We can't allow that dude to get back in office. But he said, I don't vote anyway because I don't like neither candidates. I don't trust none of them politicians, and I don't vote. And I told him, well, you can have an opinion all you want, but you can't complain if you don't vote.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't make, well, you technically can, but it doesn't make sense to because you have an option to make change, but you're not doing nothing about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like, look, you don't want to vote. You want to stay out of it. Okay, that's fine. You have the right to not vote, because we live in a free country. If you don't want to vote, then it's fine. It's totally okay. But check it out, though. Check it out. I don't want to hear your mouth when things don't go right. I don't want to hear a word.
Exactly. We don't want to. Nobody wants to hear your opinion on what candidate you don't like. You don't like this candidate. How you even gonna say you don't like a candidate? You're not even gonna vote at all. That doesn't make sense.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. And then another thing I told him is, you're right. The local elections matter, but mainly, I tell people if they say stuff like they want to fund foreign wars, get involved in foreign conflicts, that's a big red flag. Because foreign conflicts, I told them foreign conflicts, like when they keep funding wars, it generates revenue. The defense contractors make money because wars are really profitable. Defense contractors make money, and then they get the politicians a cut of the money.
Absolutely. And then that's where you get into the corruption, like 10 for the big guy, all that kind of stuff. That's how that works.
Yeah, that's another thing I meant to tell them. That's how the corruption starts, because they're easily bought out and they're just in it for the money. And that's one way how to get in for the money. They're funding wars, endless wars, that overseas conflicts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And one more thing, ABL, before I hang up. Yeah, I see Trump and Biden is pretty much going up for a rematch. And I'm just sitting back and watching how it's all going to play out at this point, because they're trying to say half the country doesn't like Trump, but you can't always trust what the media says.
That's right. I mean, I think that things are, time has passed. 4 years, it kind of went by fast, but it's a long time. And things have changed. Yeah. Things in the country are different. So I think that it's going to be a different outcome this time for sure.
Yeah, and the results are showing, especially for Joe Biden.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Have a good night.
Same to you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. But yeah, the country's different. Things change. 4 years later, it's a different country, different world, really. The whole world's different. C-19, all that, the scandal was happening back then. That's over with now. So we'll see how things change. States have changed. Laws have changed. 860, you're in line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill, it's Dave Ranger Xbox. How you doing, brother?
It's all good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, Anthony. I would just like to start off with a big congratulations to the National Transportation Safety Board. It only took them 48 hours to go 42 miles.
Okay.
Their headquarters is 42 miles away from that bridge.
Oh, yeah. Right there in D.C.
It took them 48 hours to get there.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I can hear them now. Boss, for some reason, Google won't let us book a flight. I don't know what's wrong.
It's like
Must be a server glitch.
Like this drops it up on 95 or whatever it is right there. Just drops your destination.
Yeah. Oh, man. 48 hours ago. It's mind-boggling. And then we're going to pay for it out of our pocket. Even though the shipping, like you said on your podcast, even though they got insurance, they're worth X amount of billions of dollars. And let's face it, they're the ones who took the bridge out. I had nothing to do with the bridge. I wasn't even within 500 miles of that bridge. I don't think you were near that bridge.
Yeah, I wasn't. So, yeah, that's not our responsibility. Okay, it's just like if you have an accident and someone hits someone else. Well, the person who hit the person normally is responsible. If you hit the bridge, okay, you pay for it.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I agree. Yeah, our government's we need to get more Americans to reading history books and learning the Constitution, especially the Fourth Amendment, which is why we have the Second Amendment. They want to take our guns not because of crime, because we have a constitutional right to remove a tyrannical, out-of-control government. And that's what they're afraid of. And that's what's probably going to be happening here soon if they don't, well, they're not going to do that. My advice to you guys in the government, cash out, go to a country that doesn't have extradition. That's the best advice I give you, you know, because I'm a live and let live kind of guy, but you need to be gone. Anthony, you have a great night. You got the greatest callers in the world. And remember, a baby crawling on its hands and knees could have got to that bridge faster than the National Transportation Safety Board. God bless you, brother. Take care. Goodbye.
Appreciate you.
You too, brother.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. You know, the NTSB is right there. So it's like, what are we doing? Like, why are we just kind of, you know, putt-putting? We're not putt-putting. We're just kind of wasting our time. Let's get straight to it. All right, Sarit, what's going on?
Hey, man, what's going on, bro? That Candace Owens Daily Wire fire, man. Everybody know what it's about, man. It's simply because she is not like 100% pro-Israeli. You know what I'm saying? And it's frustrating because, you know, Ben Shapiro would say facts don't care about your feelings. And then, you know, he will talk about black people and the statistics of, you know, black on black crime, you know, fatherlessness in the black community. And then, like, you know, in which he's correct about those stuff. And then he'll say facts don't care about your feelings. But then, you know, when Candace like, hey, I don't like to see like children's limbs being blown off, you know what I'm saying? It's almost as if she can't say that. You know, it's like, I think with the conservative party, especially when it comes to the state of Israel, man, you have to be all or not, just one way. Like, you can't even be practical. And you know, Candace Owens' last episode, she even said on her last episode, she's like, everybody knows. And I truly believe this on the left, right, and center, that in the United States of America, you have to be pro-Israel. You cannot be any other way than pro-Israel, or otherwise people will come after you. You will lose your job. And then what happens? She loses her job with the Daily Wire, man, which is a conservative platform. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, this is stuff that liberals do. You know, it would have been interesting if her and Ben Shapiro would have sat down and talked. But Ben Shapiro, to me, I'm sorry, man, Ben Shapiro just comes up as a grifter, man. The guy, you want to be someone's manager, and then you're talking crap behind them. And then you're on a hot mic, you don't even apologize. Instead, you double down and be like, well, if you have to choose between God and money, why don't you just quit? I mean, this is like, who does that? You know what I'm saying? You know you are putting Candace Owens at a position where she has to defend herself from her superior. And then this is the last thing I want to say about the situation. When she's being smeared falsely as an anti-Semite, when she said nothing bad about Jews in particular, she is speaking directly towards the Israel-Palestine issue, condemning both sides. She's not praising Hamas at all. But the Daily Wire didn't even defend her. They see Rabbi Shmuley and this Rabbi Barclay, and they see all these articles calling her anti-Semite. Why didn't the Daily Wire say, hey, you know, we know Candace Owens, she is not an anti-Semite? They're quiet, and then they just fire her. So, yeah, man, to me, it doesn't bode well that you have people on the right who complain about cancel culture. But then when it comes to this one little country that's not even an American country, that has no treaties with us, we can't say a word if it's not good. I feel like many conservatives on the right, unfortunately, is for canceling them, man. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take care.
Very well said. Couldn't have said it no better myself. Very well said. You know, I should be able to criticize any country, any person for reasons that are obvious. Okay, I don't like what's happening with the war. I don't like what they're doing. That shouldn't be a thing that I am canceled over if we're going to be against cancel culture. I'm not being anti-Semitic when I talk about a country and their government's actions. You can disagree with me, but don't try to call me anti-Semite because you don't agree with me. Just say you don't agree with me, and that's okay. It's simple. Who am I speaking to? 617 on the line.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Hey, I wanted to talk about Candace Owens. I know that Ben Shapiro is, he's pro-Israel. I guess, he's a Jew, so he's going to defend his country. I understand. But Candace Owens has said a lot of stupid things in the past. I mean, when she was part of Turning Point USA, I don't know, you remember when she was talking about Hitler. She made those crazy comments about Hitler. I guess they asking her, the question was asked about nationalism, and she brought in Hitler. She made a mistake, number one, because Hitler is not a nationalist. Number two, she didn't know the history of Hitler.
So hold on. Like, what did she say?
She said that Hitler wanted to globalize, go outside. I want to make everybody to be German, everybody to. First of all, he started in Germany killing people, killing his own people, and killing people that were against him. So, and then they fired her for Turning Point USA by saying that, because a lot of the donors from Turning Point USA that were Charlie Kirk was still leading, they're Jews. So they're like, get rid of this woman.
Okay, so she got fired. Do you have any evidence of that?
She got fired. I mean, she said that she didn't, but she did. Because right after that comment, she was gone. She made the comment in England.
Okay, so
they were in a tour.
So you're just assuming that she got fired. That's your opinion.
Well, yeah, but let's assume. Let's assume it's true. It's an assumption. But it was very funny that after that she disappeared, and then she started her own podcast, and then Daily Wire hired her. She was actually, this is going to help her more, and it's going to help her more to grow her career. But it's going to hurt the Daily Wire. And I don't know if this guy knows that, because she have a huge following. And also, they use her to be the House Negro.
Oh, the House Negro. Okay, how so?
Well, I mean, I could give you a few examples. When George Floyd died, she makes crazy remarks about George Floyd being a junkie, being a drug addict. That is correct. But also, it was a white woman on her show. I don't remember her name. But you could look at their shows, and then the woman is talking about having drug problems, and they still have drug problems. And then she was complaining about how we letting people how come we let people coming into the country and have people bringing drugs into the country, the border wide open, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That is just not true. But my point is, why she didn't use the same attitude when the white woman was there? So why she have a different attitude for George Floyd?
So
they're both drug addicts.
So was the white woman dead? I don't know what happened.
No, she's alive. She was talking about that we're losing a lot of our life in America of overdose, and then she was very compassionate to her. But she couldn't be compassionate to George Floyd.
So the white woman said she was a drug addict.
Yeah, she was doing drugs, and then she was. Okay. I guess she was in a non-profit working about people doing drugs.
Okay, I got you. So, what did you want Candace to do in that moment? She already said she was a drug addict.
Well,
so, what did you want her to do?
Well, my thing is why she didn't use the same attitude towards George Floyd.
But
towards her and then the people that she was trying to help.
Let's put it in context. So George Floyd. They said that the neonazi killed him, but in reality, it was probably because he was high on drugs and overdosed and died like that, which a lot of people do die of overdoses. That's a really big thing that's happening in our country. And a lot of the country burned as a result of that. So we got to put it in context. We got to put it in context. Like, who was this guy really? Let's talk about it for real. Now, the woman was straight up and down like, hey, I'm a drug addict. This, that, and the third, and nobody was rioting over her. Nobody was getting killed over her. She was just saying she was a drug addict. So we're talking about two situations that are totally different. So why would they be handled the same if they're not the same? I don't understand. It's weird.
Okay, point number one, according to the autopsy report, it did not die because drug overdose. You guys are making that up.
So did
you
he
guys
not,
are making that up. That is fine. Excuse me. I get it.
Excuse me. Did he not have drugs in the system?
He have drugs in the system, but he did not die because they overdosed. He died because they asphyxiated, they couldn't breathe. That's why he died.
Okay.
Many experts look into this. None. The second thing that I wanted to talk about, I mean, I'm talking about the drug addiction. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what they did to George Floyd, that the riots came in. The third thing is when I talk about when she made. You remember when she did the documentary about?
I got a question. Like, why are we talking about old things about Candace? Like, what was your original point that you were making when you came into the call?
My point is that she's smart when it comes to marketing. She's smart. She know how to capitalize in the ignorance of others. So I mean, if I come into a show, I don't know Jack.
Okay, what was your the question was, because you're talking about something new. What was your original point? You came into the show calling me tonight. What was your original point about Candace?
My point that she, number one, that she's not anti-Semitic. I defend her of that. I mean, that's my point of the show. But also, when you say that Ben Shapiro used the previous caller they called black on black crime, they needed her to be the house Negro.
Okay, so let's go back to that. So the house Negro. So you said that she was wrong about George Floyd. You didn't like her opinion about George Floyd. And what else?
Okay, so then let's talk about Black Lives Matter, right? She said that Black Lives Matter is a corrupt organization, and that Black Lives Matter created all these riots. There's no evidence that Black Lives Matter, the members of Black Lives Matter, say or encourage people to do this. There's just no evidence to that. I mean, people, like I told you before, people take advantage of the situation. Happened during the civil rights movement. Happened for. So
I got a question.
So
why didn't the founders like Patrice Cullors and everybody else? Why didn't they come out during all the riots and tell everybody to stop?
Okay, this is what I want to come out. So, do you know there were five different chapters of Black Lives Matter? That wasn't the only one.
Okay, so the question I asked you is why didn't Patrice Cullors come out and the rest of them that started the original BLM GNF? Why didn't they come out and say stop the riots?
Well, some of them did. I think the one in New York, I can't remember the one. I said,
excuse me. I said Patrice Cullors. I know I'm talking about.
I don't know. I mean, you're gonna have to ask her that.
We talking about Candace Owens was talking about. She's talking about Patrice Cullors and the people that started the original BLM. Okay, there's a bunch of offshoots and different chapters of BLM, but the original BLM is Patrice Cullors, and it's called BLM GNF, Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. That's them.
That's just not true.
Yes, it is. No. They were the original founders, Patrice Cullors, and
no, they did. Oh my God! Let me explain to you. No.
Wait, so who found Black Lives Matter? Who found Black Lives Matter?
The Black Lives Matter started when they killed this kid. The kid was killed in Florida.
Excuse me. The question was who founded Black Lives Matter? The people who did it.
Black Lives Matter grassroots. That's what they started.
Okay.
They call it grassroots.
Okay, so who started the organization? Give me their names.
How Patricia?
No. Give me their names. Answer the question. Give me their names. Who started Black Lives Matter?
I don't know their name, but I know that.
Okay, so excuse me. I know that. Excuse me. If you don't know who started it, how are you going to say I'm wrong when I say who started it?
But you
don't know anything
because they even.
Excuse me. You don't know anything. You said I asked you a very specific question. Who started Black Lives Matter? You said you don't know. So when you say that I'm wrong when I say who started it, you are simply lying because you don't know if I'm right or wrong.
Because I just told you they did not start it. They started from the grassroots. Grassroots started suing them
there's an
for
organization.
The money, the donation they were getting it.
No, so there's an organization. You're missing the whole point. There's an organization, Black Lives Matter, Global Network Foundation. That's Patrice Cullors. That's who started the organization.
And there were 5 Black Lives Matter, right?
That's who started the organization.
There were
there's offshoots. There's offshoots of the original, but there's their original, and that's Patrice Cullors. I said it one more time just so you get it. That's who started it, and that is who she was referring to. It's very simple, but I'll give you the last word.
Okay, let's assume she started. Let's assume she started it. She didn't start, but let's assume she started it.
She did.
What about let's assume she started. I'll give you the. Okay. I'm gonna give you the reason of the doubt. So I'm giving you. I'm gonna give it to you.
Go ahead. Come on. Like we don't got all night.
Okay. So let's say she started it, and others started it. Black Lives Matter, right? Other organizations started. Other organizations, other chapters started using the money accordingly or their mission. But except this particular one with Patricia. Why she called Black Lives Matter being a scam when the other organization doing the right thing?
Because she's talking about BLM, GNF for Patrice Cullors.
No. She said BLM particular. She didn't say specifically.
So when she went to the BLM founder's house, whose house did she go to?
I think it was Patrice. I don't know. It was Patrice.
Exactly. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. So she's making it very clear. She's
But
speaking
why
about.
you will
She's
say?
making it
Why
very
you will
clear.
say?
She's speaking
Why
about.
you will say?
So what's the problem? Go ahead. Ask your question.
Why you will say? Why you will say that it's a scam? That Black Lives Matter is a scam? She didn't say this particular organization is scam,
Because
and
it is
the
a
others
scam.
are doing good.
It's a
Why
scam.
she didn't say that?
Because it is a scam, and everybody knows it. And the other organizations, other Black Lives Matter spinoffs, were complaining about it. They're mad about it.
So why you will say that Black Lives Matter?
The other spinoffs were mad about it. Candace was mad about it. Everybody was mad about it except for Ivan. But that'll be it. Thank you for the call. All right, let's keep on moving. The number to call 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's keep it rocking and rolling. Let's go to 918. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, what's up, buddy? It's JB Scotchman from Oklahoma. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, not a lot, dude. Oh man, just wanted to. I still watch your show. I haven't called in lately. It's been a while. Not living in Oklahoma anymore. I'm in Missouri, but I'm still in the whole tri-state area of Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma. So it's all, it's all the same to me. But I just wanted to let the whole community know. I know there's some really good people out there that were concerned about me for a while, and they had good a reason to be, because for the last year, I've been through a lot. I'll tell you what, man. And I'm rebuilding. I'm getting better. And one thing I've learned is as you get older, you talk to your doctor, whether it's a him or a her or whatever, be straight up with them, because nobody wants to go to the doctor and find out something's wrong with them, so just, be straight up and just deal with it, That's what I've learned, and I'm just taking time to heal and get back to myself, and this is taking time, but it's, I've learned a lot in the last year. And I've still been watching your show. I haven't been calling in because I just, I kind of unplugged from the internet for a while. Too much news will drive you crazy, but I always made sure I listen to your shows and videos, you and Mark Dice. But, I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen this November. I'm, pulling for Trump, I think it really is this country's last hope. And I predicted this maybe a couple of years ago. Trump's VP pick is going to be Tulsi Gabbard. It hasn't been announced yet, but I think it's actually that might be his VP pick. And I think that would be a very, very good choice. But anyway, that's what I'm calling. Let everybody know I'm still here. I'm still listening. I'm not wasted. I still drink a little bit. I just can't get wasted like I used to. I just got to take it easy. And I'm gonna eat me a honey bun and drink some milk and probably go to bed after your show.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for calling in, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Later, dude.
I know. All right, shout out to my man for calling in. Hopefully, stay well, get well. Don't drink, man. Just keep that bottle down, man. Get you some good old water, man. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to Skype caller. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, ABL.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, man, Stanley. How's it going, mate?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Yeah, brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Amazing show tonight, man. Good callers, mate.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. I've got to talk about that video and all those couple of videos you did earlier with those. What was it? Those really entitled Muslims.
What was that? Like on the bus or out there praying?
Yeah, both, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen quite a lot of videos like that as well, quite similar ones, the same sort of thing. Look, I'm going to be honest, it boils my blood, man. So that one on the bus that you played, so what country were they in?
I couldn't tell you. I don't really know. It could have been UK, but I really don't know.
But yeah, it's a country in the West, right?
Yeah, I think, I believe so, because they were on the bus. It probably was double decker, and we don't have those over here. I think that might be, well, there are some double deckers, but not like in the regular city. That's probably more of a UK thing.
Yeah, you know what, you're right. I think that might have been the UK, yeah. But basically my point is, it's in the West, right?
Yeah.
And you just have the cheek, like, and I get it. I know everyone's saying freedom of religion, freedom of religion. You can practice and preach religion in public or in private. We all get that, yeah? I don't necessarily agree with it. I think it should just be in private. But hey, look, I don't make the laws. But the cheek of these people to go out there and think they can say this sort of thing to other people who don't follow their religion. This woman is clearly not a Muslim, is clearly not an Islamist. She doesn't see the Prophet, she doesn't follow the Prophet Muhammad's teachings. She doesn't follow Islam. She's on a bus, hungry and eating her food, minding her own business. And you think you have the right to tell her to stop eating because you're on Ramadan and you're Muslim. No one cares. Why don't you mind your own business? I don't get it.
Right.
I just don't get it, man. Like we're not in the Middle East in a country that lives under Sharia law. We're in the West where we're not under Sharia law. Now you can practice whatever religion you want, but you keep it to yourself and you follow it. You mind your own business. Other people mind their own business. And as for the Muslims praying in the street, again, religious freedom, I get it. You can argue about it all day, but for me, you're in a public area. You're a trip hazard. You're in the way. I don't want to see all your bent over asses on the street and your mats all on the sidewalk.
Right. Yeah, I never really understood that. Where it's like you just everywhere and you just go do that. Yeah, that's a little different.
Like you're. I mean, they're probably outside their mosque, right? You've got a mosque for that, don't you?
Yes, that's what I would presume, that you have a mosque for that kind of activity rather than just being on the sidewalk.
That's what I mean. Like, you've got a mosque for that. The mosque was built for you to do that, to go and worship your God.
Yeah.
To go and do that and get out of the way. And you've got all your mats on the sidewalk, and sort of people got to walk around your mats because it's not. You can't walk on a Muslim's mat with your shoes. You know what I mean? They take off their shoes, don't they? Like, obviously, to be respectful.
Yeah.
So what? Do I have to walk around your mats now? Walk around you? I mean, that's completely disrespectful to other people and their religions. So again, it just. Look, you don't see this from other religions. I'm sorry, like you just don't. You don't see other religions doing that, and that's just my opinion. And there's another video that I've seen where. I think it was in the UK where guys in his work office on lunch break, an English guy eating his food, minding his own business. And then you got this Muslim guy recording, goes in there and he says something like, "Oh, look at this kuffar," or I think it was in his Muslim words. Basically, it means like
non-believer.
That's it. He goes, "Oh, look at this kuffar eating on Ramadan," and he was like laughing and joking. All the other Muslims laughing and joking, acting like they're all doing it in a jokey way. And he responds like he responds as well in a jokey way, like, "Oh yeah, sorry guys, it's Ramadan, isn't it? Oh yes, I shouldn't be eating, should I?" So he starts packing up his foods, and they're all like joking, saying, "Oh no," but none of them stop him. They're all pretending like they're joking, but they're not. They all they're outnumbered him and they're intimidating him and bullying him, and they're now trying to enforce on other people to stop because they can't eat because it's Ramadan, because they're trying to enforce their religions on other people. And again, people need to stand up for themselves, ABL, man. Like, I'm sick to death with these people, man.
I hear you, for sure.
All right, man. Well, look, I apologize for the rant, but look, that's just my opinion. You know, it is what it is. There's religious freedom, so I get it, but some people take it too far. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
Absolutely.
Well, look, thanks again for taking my call, man. Yeah, great show. Shout out to everyone in chat. Appreciate it, ABL, mate. Take care.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
See you, mate. See ya. Bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to my man for the call. And shout out to you guys as well. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Let's go to 520. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? Oh, I guess it didn't pick up. Let's go 479. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, ABL. It's me, Darko from Serbia again. I just have to say that BLM guy is a clown. I laugh every time he calls in. You destroy me every time. And I've been watching you since Call of Duty days. And yes, people, Uncle BLM, he used to play Call of Duty on YouTube.
Yes.
And my question for you is, I hear you Americans or Republicans have a lot of hope for Trump winning the election, but where does this hope come from? Because last time I checked, they stole the election, and Republicans just accepted it, and now they think it's not going to happen again. So I just want to hear your thoughts. And I'm going to hang up because it's expensive calling in 2 years. So have a good day, and yeah.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Now, personally, if you ask me, I don't think it was stolen. I think that, first of all, the elections are state to state. It's not a federal election, although the elections can be for federal positions. Okay, so every state has their own election. Every state does it differently. Where I live, you got to have ID, paper ballots, and that's how we do it. And some parts of the country, there's no ID required, or it's lax ID, and they have electronic ballots. Things are done differently. So different states, you have different laws in different states. Now, one thing that was done at the 2020 election, a lot of the laws were tightened up to give people more security, a better feeling. So when you go to the poll, you know that things are going to be on the up and up. Now, some states don't have that, but some states do. Where I live is all good. A lot of states really kind of bolstered themselves after the 2020 election. I don't think it was a matter of stealing. I think it was a matter of certain ways that were legal to vote that people did not take advantage of that came about during that time that were used in a way people didn't anticipate. And a lot of those ways have been kind of shorn up or changed this year. So I think it'd be a different situation, a different environment. So that's my opinion about it. Yeah, a lot of laws have been made since 2020, for sure. Georgia is one of them. But here where I live, it's always been tight because we do ID, paper ballots. Yeah, we don't really do a lot of the extra stuff. But anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Some have the opinion that it was stolen and there's no hope. If you have the opinion that it was stolen and there's no hope, then ain't no point in even being worried about anything. Just pretty much pack it up. You know, only thing you can do if you have a concern about voting is to get involved locally and change laws locally. That's all you can do. 773 on the line with speaker 2.
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. Thanks for taking my call. First of all, ABL, I wanted to just answer the direct question from your super chat where he wanted to know, about these policies that these mayors do and how the police feel about it once they come out after somebody's been shot or whatever. You know, it was only a couple of years ago that an officer was shot and Lori Lightfoot came to the hospital and all the policemen at the hospital that were outside turned their back on Lori Lightfoot. I don't know if you recall that, ABL. And then there's been other private times where the mayor would come to the hospital to see the officer or the family of the fallen officer, and they didn't want to speak to the mayor. That pretty much, was kept private. There was another time where an officer, the officer's family, after the officer was slain, kind of berated the mayor. I think at that time it was Rahm berated him in the news about their policies, causing some of this danger that the police are now in. But, for the most part, to a man, the police department show their disdain for these policies with our vote. Because most people, the curtain has been pulled back on the wizard, so to speak, with the Wizard of Oz. The curtain's been pulled back, and most policemen, after a few years, have seen these liberal policies, what these leftist policies in these cities have done. What they do to the city, what they do to the communities, especially the poorer communities. They want to keep you under the government control. And they do that by offering you money to be under government control. And this is what's happening with the migrants. They want to get the migrants, or the illegals, under government control. And we better watch out, ABL, because right now, in these last 7 months or whatever we have until the election, you know, a million different topics come up. I love the topics that you do, but the real fight and the real thing is this voter fraud. You know, once they get these people under their control by giving them money, which they're doing, they're going to give these illegals money and housing and everything else, and they are going to give them the vote one way or another, whether it's illegal or legal. Try to find it once the vote has been cast, because there's no way of knowing. There's mail-in votes. There's a million ways to cheat, and I believe that's what's going to happen. They are somehow going to make it easy for people to vote, and then once Biden or the Democrat Party person wins, and then when our side says there's voter cheating here, it's going to be all over the same thing. You're denying you're denying the voting and all these other machinations. It's ridiculous, but that's going to be our problem. To me, voter fraud is the biggest worry right now, and these illegals being able to vote. That's the biggest trouble, and I believe Biden may win because of that. Voter fraud. They are working on it, and it's real. I think we better really take heed of casting the vote and having an ID to cast a vote. I mean, that's not a big ask. It's not asking for much. You need an ID to buy booze and everything else. Let's have an ID to vote. But we'll see what happens with that, I guess, ABL, won't we?
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents, and I guess I'll talk to you later. Thanks, ABL.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
All right, great call, and that will be a wrap for me tonight. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. I'll be back live again on Wednesday, same bad time, same bad place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And shout out to you guys for retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I most certainly could not do the show without you. I most certainly appreciate you. Do I have more super chats on deck? I think that I may. Read the rest of these and wrap it on up. Put the bow clean on top. Shout out to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chatting, and shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I really, really appreciate you. Let me see. Thank you to, where were we at last time here? Michael Critchlow says, according to Gad said, Jewish is not an ethnicity. Thank you to Papaniah Shelley. I read that one about Elijah getting stomped in the wine by black dudes. Anyway, thank you to, let me see. Dan the Man says, I appreciate your work. Dan from Canada. Thank you to Blast Radius, who says, I've been warning conservative about Shapiro for years about how much of a neocon fraud he is. His politics are right in line with Irving Kristol and David Frum, that National Review crowd. Oh, yeah. Makes a lot of sense. When you put it to me like that, it kind of clicks. Thank you to Bobcat MIT, who says, you're right, Ivan. There were 5 chapters of BLM, and they received $0 from the national chapter. Exactly. That's the point. The national chapter, that was Patrice Cullors, BLM, GNF. That was the big dog, the top, the head honcho. You had spin-offs and branch-offs, and they were mad about the national chapter, which was Patrice Cullors, which was what Candace was speaking about. That's very simple to understand, but some people just don't want to get it. They'll see things right in front of their face and refuse to acknowledge. But that'll be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. I'll be back live again on Wednesday, same bad time, same bad place. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.